I am your host, Donovan Sharp. It's good to have you guys in today. The Red Man Group is brought to you by the 22 Convention. We aim to make women great again. And this is actually going to be the third time that we've discussed the 22 Convention. And the reason for that is because we seem to be getting some notoriety on mainstream media. We've actually got a couple of articles, a couple of videos and an article to read. But before we get started, let me go ahead and introduce today's panel. First up, of course, is Anthony Dream Johnson. He is the founder of 21 Studios as well as 21 University. You guys can go to the 21 Convention to get tickets to the 21 Convention and the 22 Convention. You can get tickets to the 22 Convention on the21convention.org. Is that correct, Anthony?
That's correct. Yep.
All right, perfect. Next up is none other than Steve the Dean Williams. You guys can watch his show, The Red Pill Mindset. And this is going to be weekday. This is actually Monday evenings, I think, at 7. Is that correct?
Yeah, I push it every other Monday till 8.
Every other Monday at 8. Every other Monday at 8 Eastern. And last and certainly not least is Noel Ravoy. You guys can find him at smv4k.com. I imagine that means sexual market value 4k.com. How are we doing this morning, gentlemen?
Good.
Doing pretty fucking great.
Well, let me go ahead and start with you, Anthony. I remember sort of the genesis of the 22 Convention. We're actually at the first 21 Convention that I attended back in 2018, and I'm sitting right next to you. We're doing the Red Man Group live, and I just kind of floated the idea out there. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, there is a 22 Convention. And I remember you telling, because I didn't know about the 22 Convention, but I called it the 32 Convention. And I remember later on,
I think you called it the 32, not the 22. I remember sitting there. I was like, oh shit, shut up.
Well, listen, man, you said I almost let the cat out of the bag. I certainly did not, but this is a real thing now. And Anthony, we are getting some mainstream media attention, man. Dude, you got people coming after you on Twitter. We got people talking about us on TV. We're going to see here. You made an appearance on the BBC channel with Piers Morgan. What's your life been like since this thing has really gained mainstream notoriety?
Yeah, it's been life-changing, man. And I think we're still at the beginning, or maybe the end of the beginning, so to speak, of what's going on with it. So since December 31st, not only has it gotten mainstream attention in the New York Post and Good Morning Britain, things like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's gone viral across so many different platforms, like all social media, terrestrial radio. I'm hearing radio programs broadcasting it locally, like Pat Campbell does in Australia and France and Britain, all over America and Canada. So it has gone mega, mega viral. By my count, just by social media. The radio, I don't understand. Like, I need to ask Pat Campbell or somebody who understands that. I don't know how to track the numbers for that kind of stuff. But just on social media, we've reached over 80 million people.
Wow.
Well, we've been broadcast to that many. The actual traffic is hard to tell. But that's the actual count on Twitter followers, Facebook followers, YouTube subscribers, things like that. Just yesterday, we reached a whole new over 2 million people on YouTube. Wow. This like young comedian, little millennial douchebag, decided to come after us, this hit piece. And it's actually, I was laughing my ass off watching it on TV. I was like, this is fucking glorious. Look at this guy. Because they think they're doing such a noble, virtuous white knight, little parade, and all they're doing is just driving more attention and traffic to us. They're feeding the monster. We have a little baby monster, and they're feeding it.
And they're still they know what they're doing, right? But they still can't help themselves. If I'm a social justice warrior, if I'm an SJW, I'm saying to the rank and file guys, the more we talk about this, the more media attention you're giving this guy. Free advertising.
Yep.
Why don't you listen? We need to shut the fuck up and just let this thing quote unquote flop and let this thing just kind of ride off into the sunset. But the more they talk about it, the more people talk about it. People are throwing insults our way. It's actually helping.
No, see, you asked about my life too. I mean, every day there's something new. Whether I'm meeting with security, law enforcement, hotels, like getting death threats, threats of mass violence, people wanting me to die. There's a woman, women are all the time now. They're getting feminists. I find are very violent.
Yes.
So they've been talking about killing me, chopping my balls off, and shoving them down my throat, just on Twitter, like right out in the open, Right. And of course, we all know that if I were to do that against some feminists, like, hey, let's chop off your tits and shove them down your throat, I'd be banned immediately for violence and whatever other policies platforms have.
Right, exactly.
So it's been really illustrative and demonstrative to call out these feminists for being toxic, dogmatic bullies And lo and behold, that's exactly what a huge majority of them are doing. They're just screaming at me, at other men, at speakers, at women who are standing up and saying, we like what they're doing. We're going to attend. We support it. We want to see it happen. So it's been really, it's been a huge triggering is what's happening. And a lot of these people too, when I watch these videos, like the one yesterday that came out by this little, dweeb, it looks like he needs sand kicked in his face, this little guy. And I look at them like puppets, and they're my talking puppets that I make talk, and they say what I want them to say because they're so fucking stupid. Like all I have to do is put out some stuff that's irritating to them, and then they share it with millions of people for me for free. This has to be one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. I've spent $0 in advertising and reached over 80 million people. All I had to do was pound on the keyboard. Like it was fucking super easy.
Listen, man, with the amount, and I want to come to you next, Noah, because I don't know if you have a background in advertising or anything like that, but my guess is that, I don't know, I can't really put a number on it, but I would say Anthony's probably got hundreds of thousands of dollars in free advertising. And who knows, maybe people will talk about this on Super Bowl Sunday, which would really make this thing global. What are your thoughts on the mainstream media attention?
Yeah, I think that you mentioned that they can't stop talking about it, even though they recognize that they're perpetuating the thing they're trying to stop. I think it's important to check out every single message that's been put out that's against us. Within the first 30 seconds, they say that they're fearful, that we're dangerous, that they're scared, that we're scary. We've done an amygdala hijack.
Right.
So the initial marketing, it was so effective that it short-circuited their brains, and they mentally turned off. They're in fear mode, and so they can't think straight. And Anthony is exactly right. They become his puppets, and that's not going to stop because it's just going to get bigger. They're afraid someone's going to escape the plantation. Someone's going to get men who aren't afraid of women shaming them. Oh crap! Now we're in trouble, and so we've really triggered them in exactly the right way. And the initial marketing was perfect for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I played that video the last time I hosted the Red Man group. It's been one thing after another. Now, Steve, you probably have a different take on mainstream media, and I'd really like to get your perspective because your father is a part of mainstream media, or at least was a part of. Your father worked, if I'm not mistaken, he worked for or works for Fox News and was a regular contributor on Fox News. From that perspective, what are your thoughts on the attention that this convention is getting from mainstream media?
I think it's all kudos to Anthony, man. I think what he's done is really hit the hornet's nest, and is like, again, I wouldn't say, would y'all say thousands and hundreds of thousands? I think he's got millions of dollars of marketing, because think about how much it costs to advertise on a regular program. Right. It's a lot of money, and he's just sitting back, kicked back, sending dick pics if he want to people, and he's just chilling while everybody's mad at him. I mean, he's not thinking about them; they're thinking about him. So that means he's winning. So it's a great marketing move, but it's not even a tactic. It's really there to help women. And I think the problem is people are they're not even looking at the information. They're just so in their feelings that they just think that we're here to bash women. But as far as Anthony goes, marketing is damn near genius. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's worked almost too well. And I remember, I don't know, maybe I spoke with you, Anthony, about this. I don't know if I spoke with you or somebody else. I thought to myself, are people really going to talk about this? We were asking things like, what do we think is the average age of women that are going to attend the 22 convention? And listen, only time will tell, but I think it goes without saying that it's definitely gotten a lot more notoriety than I thought it would. Let me shout out a couple of super chats here. Ryan Sullivan with the $10 super chat. He says, super chat for the kicks. We appreciate that. Grovelite with the $5 super chat says, thank you, men, for teaching and giving me confidence to speak out as well as learn game. The game is cold and wearing warm jackets won't help. Absolutely. Very good. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, and by the way, guys, the phone lines are open. 914-205-5356. Again, that's 205-5356. That's the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to play a video from a TV show called The Real, and it's basically I can't forget. It's basically The View. It's like, you know, a quasi version of The View. So what I'm going to do, that's pretty much what it is. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen here, and I want to get you guys' thoughts. I don't know why it's not sharing anymore. There we go. Share my screen. There we go. So I'm going to share my screen.
Heads up too. This show, they have 2 million subscribers on YouTube. They publish this too. And then I also found out that they're syndicated on local Fox TV stations throughout the entire country.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I don't know what their viewership is, but it's probably a lot. So.
All right, very good. And listen, guys, if you guys are having trouble with SharpStream, this is not the time to talk about it. This ain't tech support. This is the Red Man Group, all right? You guys are killing me. Send me an email. Send my guy an email. Don't talk to me about SharpStream right now. This is not tech support. This is the Red Man Group. All right, here we go.
It's fair to say that most women hate being mansplained to, right?
Yes.
But you guys, there is this convention that might be taking this to a whole nother level. It's a convention in Orlando, Florida, which is a seminar. I know. Well, it's run by all men, which promises to, quote, make women great again.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. And according to...
Now, let me stop it right there, because this is kind of what I do on my show. Do you see the condescension with which they talk about this, right? It's amazing how they just absolutely, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Oh, make women great again. But here's what they're missing, Anthony, and I'm going to get your thoughts on this as soon as this video is over. We're saying make women great again, right? Like these banshees are so close. They're so in their feelings. They're so roundabout with what they're thinking. They have no idea that we're actually giving them a compliment. You were once great. We are trying to make you guys great again because you were once great. Unfortunately, women just don't see it that way because, of course, they are women.
Yeah, it's a very positive thing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait for it. The seminar will have men teaching women to do things like how to land a husband, how to lose weight, how to pop out a bunch of kids. And get this, you guys, the cost of the seminar is $2,000.
Stop.
Yes.
I love the girl who's like, don't do it. Don't say it.
Oh my God. So funny.
Losers.
So we're looking at this. We're looking at this woman on the screen, right? And she has this look on her face like, oh my God, I can't believe conventions like this exist. Well, you look at this woman, and this is the reason why this convention exists. Let's continue.
Well, it says the world's ultimate event for women.
No, but
it also says with a trademark, make women great again for women.
Already great.
We're already great. How you think you got here?
You already know.
Let's be great.
Listen,
How you think we got here? Look at her fucking clapping.
do you hear the masculinity? Do you hear the masculinity? Nobody up there is acting feminine. The girl on the left is standing up. She's pointing. Of course, you got the fat chick in the middle. I guess it's supposed to be this version of Star Jones. It's just unbelievable that we're already great, yet you guys are acting like men. You guys have a very mannish disposition and energy.
But Donovan, is that an ex-Pussycat doll to the far right? Is that the ex-Pussycat doll? The one to the far left? I mean, our far left.
Oh, far left? I don't know. I didn't really.
I'll shoot the Pussycat doll, but I'm just okay because
right, exactly, right. You know,
I got to be honest here. I have an ex-girlfriend, sort of looks like the girl on the far left. This Colombian chick I used to bang. And yeah, it's the same kind of. I would definitely bang the chick on the far left. I don't care about attitude. You could fix that easy.
Sure. Listen, it was a stiff dick and a smack in the ass. That'll fix any attitude, right?
I tell you right now, that girl loves that. That's the kind of girl that loves it rough, and she plays like this in public. How she's such a little hard ass, and she's yelling and throwing her hands around. It's all fucking for show.
Anthony,
that girl loves masculine men.
How she scares off all the weak men.
Brother, listen, you are giving away the game. And I'm telling you guys right now, I say this all the time. And Anthony, you can co-sign on this. The more masculine they act, the more in your face and I am woman, here she roar, the more strong and independent they come, they decide they want to be, the harder they like it, the harder they want to get fucked.
That's a really good point, because Pat Stedman, one of our speakers from recently in Orlando, we talked to on Twitter and stuff. He was the first guy I saw say this, but I think all of us will agree that women who say that stuff, like you're saying, They're basically like, you could say they're brainwashed by feminism and the feminine imperative and all this crap. But really what they're doing is they're projecting what they want. And it repels, and at the same time, it repels what they want. It's like a nice guy being nice. He's a fake nice guy, right? He wants a nice girl in his life, but he'll never fucking get it. Because he's projecting what he wants rather than demonstrating what women want and what they need, frankly. So the women say they're strong and independent. Like this girl, you're right, acting up all this strong crap.
All of a sudden,
she can't figure it out that this is what she actually wants, not what she is and what she is expressing. It's all fake. This is actually the fake nice guy. This is the female equivalent. It's not a fake nice girl. It's this masculine chick.
I like that. Listen, to piggyback off of what you just said, women will act and talk about themselves the way they want their men to be. In other words, and this is sort of a hack. By the way, shout out to Emily Britton, who says in the chat, quote, "Y'all are idiots." Listen, Emily, sweetie, we appreciate you watching, but if you're going to troll, at least be original about it. Y'all are idiots. Is that the best you can do? This is why this convention exists, because we have girls thinking y'all are idiots is somehow anyway. Women will do this. If you're on a first date or a first meetup with a woman, ask her this: what kind of man, or I'm sorry, what kind of woman are you? What that woman will tell you, she'll tell you, I'm decisive, I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm driven, I'm focused, blah, 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 blah. What you will find when you ask women this question is that they will tell you, they will describe the man that they want. Because what you'll find out is, if you spend more time with her, she's none of the things that she told that she was on the first date. Instead, what she's doing is sort of like an inverse projection. She admires those masculine characteristics so much and internalizes this, but that she tells you exactly what she's looking for in a man. So if you really want to know what kind of man women are looking for, ask her what kind of woman she is. And
to be fair, most of these women are oblivious to it. They're really, now some of them do know, and they're just being duplicitous or whatever, but a lot of them are just oblivious. They've been raised on this feminist bullshit their whole life, and then it's reinforced by other women hashtagging it, screaming about it on Instagram all day. Then they actually, right, on a first date, they will say this crap, and they actually, to a degree, they actually believe it. Deep down, they know that's not true. They feel that, but they can't articulate it. They're just oblivious, man. They don't know.
And they're extremely frustrated because everything that they're doing to get what they want is getting them the exact opposite. Yeah. And I mean, as a guy, our thing is we solve problems. That's what men do. If we try something enough times and it's not working, we kind of catch on eventually. But these feminists, partially from the pressure from other women, because if they try to deviate, other women will jump right on them.
Yep.
What they really need is a man to say, it's okay to deviate from this. It's okay to be feminine and attract rather than going out and hunting a man. You can pull a man towards you instead.
So Kobayashi Maru is going to start a GoFundMe campaign so that we can get Emily a ticket to the 22 convention, because she certainly needs it. Let us continue with the video.
Do we know if there's have women signed up for this?
Well, they're on. Actually, Anthony, answer that question. Have women signed up for this?
Absolutely. We've sold quite a few tickets, and there's even more selling every day, as well as patriarch guys that tell me they're bringing their wives when they buy tickets. Perfect. So patriarch tickets are selling, and they put in the notes they want to bring their wife, and how do they get the coupon code?
Look at
we got a lot of women.
Listen, look at the woman on your screen. Look at the expression on her face. Do you see how mad? And here's the thing, guys. This is a beautiful woman. Let's not be trolls about it. She's a beautiful woman, but this masculine energy is what makes her ugly, right? She looks like she's ready to kick somebody's ass.
Well, someone on my channel commented they were like, red pilling women some Jedi shit, because previously it was thought to be impossible, and I think what we're seeing is more or less the red pilling of women because their heads are exploding.
Yes,
that's the only way to do it, is you have to make their heads figuratively explode. The pink hats explode, and in her head, she's realizing, she's like, am I wrong about something in life, fundamentally? And she's like, no, and all their heads are exploding now. So it's fantastic.
I had a whole bunch of women that were not thoroughly convinced about 22 convention see this interview and then privately message me and say,
"Here you go."
After seeing how they responded, now I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
The red pilling is going to have to be done by the contrast between the hyper manic feminists combined with the calm and solid masculine presence that's being provided by the men they're going to speak at 22 convention.
And I'll say this: the announcement of the 22 convention is equivalent to a man running pickup game on a female. You introduce yourself to him. Hi, I'm Donovan, and you are. I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. right? What this response is a shit test. And the reason why we call this a shit test is because these women, we have struck a chord. We have struck a nerve. If this 22 convention were completely going to just be completely useless to everyone, we wouldn't be getting this response. But the reason why they're so vehemently coming out against it and trying to trash it in every way is because they know that women understand what's really going on. They can pretend not to know, but they know. If they really did not think that this was going to have any impact, they wouldn't even be talking about this, but they know onto something, and that's why they're losing their fucking minds.
Anger is the weather vane of the truth.
Boom. Wow. Anger is the weather vane for the truth. I like that. That's very good. All right, here we go.
Website is 50% off now so they put a sale on how to make a woman
There has been a lot of backlash.
I am interested though,
As it
Lonnie.
should.
I am interested to see who signed up. I actually would like to know, because I would like to get into the mind and understand why that woman thinks she needs help in something. Because it makes me think they're preying on women who feel that they're missing something in life, whether they're 40, not married, don't have a great job, don't feel like they can't lose the weight. So then they go to this God or this deity that feels like they can lead them, give them the way. You already have the way inside of you. You just have to listen to it.
Oh, now see, already, now we get into the field. So you already have the way inside of you.
Well, let's back up, though. She just called me a god, or a deity, or all of us deities, apparently. So we're all God. But now they're saying it's inside of them. No, it sounds like they need a man inside of them, is what it sounds like, especially this one.
Not only do they need a man inside of them, women are, and let's not get it twisted, women are capable of accomplishing great things. Giving birth is nothing short of a miracle. Let's keep it all the way real. I'm a man. I can't give birth. That is some fucking spectacular shit. But guess what you need to give birth? That's right. You need a man. Even if you go in vitro, you still need a sperm, right? So women need men more than men need women. We want women, right? But we don't need them. Women need us. This is why we are doing this for them. And here's another thing. Here's another thing that I would like to point out in terms of this woman's response. Oftentimes you hear women talk a lot about and she just said, well, they're preying on these women. We're not preying on anybody. What we are doing is we're throwing up the flag. Hey, if you're a woman and you're not quite happy, you don't understand why you're not happy. You don't understand why you're not married, why you don't have kids, why you're 37, childless, once divorced, you've had 6 abortions and you're crying yourself to sleep. This is the answer. We are going to tell you why this is, because the world around them tells them to keep doing things the same way. But now they're waking up. Why am I still 37?
No, these women are the ultimate. This is blue pill for women. They're telling all these fat women that they don't need to lose weight and get healthy. They're saying being fat's okay, embrace being fat, embrace being masculine and being manly and being hysterical and all this crap. Yeah, it's delusional nonsense.
Well, look,
her voice at the beginning when she says, I want to see the other women that are going to this.
Yep.
Listen to the jealousy.
Yeah, look at her hand. Look at her hand. There's no wedding ring on her finger. She's not married. They talk about the money situation, Anthony, and yet they'll go outside and buy a Louis Vuitton bag just like that. And as far as calling us the names they call us, well, as soon as you have someone like Derek Jackson or someone telling them how special they are and come to my seminar, they wrapped around the building wanting to hear how good they are, so
they want to be fed bullshit they already believe.
80% of the self-improvement market is women.
Yes.
Of course. Women pay for this stuff all the time. They buy dozens of self-improvement books that they don't read.
Self-help.
They can come to a seminar.
Another thing I want to mention too is that she's talking about, they're preying on women. Look, the predation is projection from them. Yes. They're preying on all these fat women in the audience live and on TV that are watching it in the middle of the day on Fox or something. And they're the ones doing that. We're not forcing anyone to come to the conference. It's just a ticket. They think it's expensive, whatever. It's $1,000.
Dude, you can't pray. Listen, you can't prey on people and make them spend $1,000. They're doing this of their own free will and volition.
Yeah. No, the women buying tickets are excited to come out to the event. These people are delusional and projecting.
Listen, Matt Vasquez says in the chat, sorry to cover you up there, Noah. He says they prey on women. He says that is why there is a fee to enter. So only women who are about feminine women can attend. These women are walking contradictions. I will also point out the veins bulging out in this chick's neck. It's actually quite telling. Let's continue.
And own everything about you.
But if I want to learn, how to pop out a bunch of kids. I want to learn from someone who's actually done it.
Yeah. That part,
Okay.
Now, see, that's dishonest and that's disingenuous. We're not, the 22 convention is not telling women, we are going to teach you how to get pregnant and pop out kids, because newsflash, we got plenty of women out there who are real good at getting pregnant and popping out kids, right?
Well, they're pretending that we're saying we're midwives or something, which is retarded. Like, of course we're not midwives. We're not gonna. No one here is delivering babies. We'll teach you how to get wifed up and knocked up. That's what you want to do, which you probably should. It's a great thing, marriage and family. But yeah, this stuff about there's this totally straw man arguments, bullshit.
Yes, straw man is a good way to put this. I think the only person on the stage, if I'm not mistaken, who has a ring on her finger is the girl who is the second one from the right. I think she's either Tia or Tamara from Sister. I think she might have a ring on her finger, but I don't see rings on any of the other fingers. And
I think the one in blue wants to attend, honestly. Looking at her face and the way she's been delivering the message, I think she secretly wants to attend, and she's like, damn, all these bitches hate it.
This is a facade. The woman on the right is noticeably silent. Have you noticed? As we continue to watch this, let's watch her facial expressions, because she's looking like she's playing the part, right? She's trying to look like she's incredulous, but something tells me, and I could be wrong, I haven't watched this all the way through, something tells me that she doesn't disagree with the 22 convention. Let's see what happens. Oops, there we are.
You know, or who has inspired me.
It just sounds like these men are trying to control women. And, you know, that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Trying to control women.
Check this out. Number one, she needs to exercise self-control, right? Like she needs to help control her portions. Number two, you can't control women, gentlemen. Everyone on the panel knows this. You cannot make a woman submit to you. A woman has to submit to you of her own free will and volition. And the very definition of submission within the context of a sexual relationship between a man and a woman is relinquishing control. A woman will not relinquish control to you unless she trusts you. No, not in the way you're thinking, trust you not to go fuck around and fuck other girls. No, she has to trust that you can handle your shit. She has to trust that you can handle her. She has to trust that you can make sound decisions day in and day out. That is submission. That is not control. A woman can relinquish control, but we are not trying to control women, because we understand clearly that women don't want you to control them. They don't want a controlling man. They want a man.
Well, hang on. I'll say this with this chick. The fact that she's bringing this up out of nowhere, there's nowhere on the webpage where it talks about we're going to control all women, enslave all women. Like, this is delusional bullshit they're making up out of thin air. Now, she's projecting what she could probably jerks off to this kind of stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like that's where that's coming from. It's very personal to her. She's obsessed with that kind of stuff. She doesn't have a strong man in her life that gives her any feeling of dominance. And that's probably what she reads about in books and masturbates to. And I can almost guarantee you that's what she does. That's why it came up out of nowhere.
And control is on her mind, because, as you mentioned, she needs some self-control.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that too.
People who need self-control know it and won't develop it. They desperately want someone else to give them the control. They want someone to control the parts of them that they're too lazy to control. And again, it's projection.
Hashtag portion control.
No, bro, her computer's probably filled with like BDSM porn. Like I can almost guarantee 80% chance at least to that.
Dude, I'm gonna listen. I see your 80%. I raise you another 15.
And hey, I'm not judgy. Like, no judging, baby. Like, you do you, but like, you know, that's coming out of your mouth, and that's what I think immediately. So, it looks like they're grasping at straws. This chick is probably using those straws to drink the milkshake.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they probably living with their mamas. They want to sit back and, you know, so that's how they have all the.
You know, it's funny. When she said they probably living with their mamas, I'm going to rewind this slightly. She's not really speaking with conviction. All they're doing is using the same rhetoric. You have a small dick. You live with your mom. You don't have a girlfriend. You fuck a blow up doll. You're this and that and the other. Watch her face, because she doesn't really believe what she's saying, because she's starting to think about this now, right? She's a fat chick up here talking about control, but she's a fat chick. Check it out.
They probably living with their mamas. They want to sit back and, you know, so that's how they.
Baby girl, you don't believe that.
Have all the experts, because they look at their mama, because they still in the basement living with her.
Oh my God.
And so they just, you know how they be living in the basement.
Why are they talking about? I just feel like, I mean, the conversation about making.
And this woman has party voice. Listen,
women great again. The men that I
party voice comes from a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking, and a lot of fucking.
know who are great are men who have taken it upon themselves to look at these type of men and patriarchy and toxic masculinity and be like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, right.
Like that. That's what I've seen. Yeah. And the women I feel who have really found their greatness are women who have like been able to say, you know what, I don't want to feed into that either, because that's really actually a problem too. Women who have actually been brainwashed by this patriarchy, and so that's who these men are.
Oh my God, hold on, wait.
They're fucking delusional.
Brainwashed, dude. Here's the thing, dude. The patriarchy fell 60 years ago.
Yep.
Women in America, American women, lived the best lives of any class of human on earth. Our culture constantly gives women chances, gives women opportunity. Everything is handed to women because they have 2X chromosomes.
Hey, y'all remember playing Where's Waldo when you were a kid?
Yes.
They're playing Where's Waldo with the patriarchy. Like, you're right. This shit don't exist anymore. Like, hello.
Absolutely.
Not in America or the West. Yeah, it hasn't existed for decades. Like, they're just making shit up. They're looking for patriarchy ghosts, like Ghostbusters, patriarchy ghosts. Like, they're out of their mind. They're out of their mind, man.
The patriarchy's been over for more than 100 years. It's 1919 is when they passed the 19th Amendment and women started to vote. It's no longer a patriarchy when everyone votes.
That's right.
Well put. There you go.
Spirit of Justice says Lonnie Love's white boyfriend is taking one for the team. Yeah. He's taken one for everybody. I did not know that Lonnie Love even had a boyfriend. Holy smokes. Let's continue.
They're preying on. Don't let them prey on you.
Absolutely. And I feel like the clarification needs to be made. People, feminism means equality.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. What? Now she's going to hedge. She knows that feminism is a hate group. She knows that feminism is a hate movement. So what she's doing now, oh, wait a minute. I know what feminism kind of has a bad rep. Let me make sure that I clarify. Listen to this.
Well, this is a really important moment in history, in my opinion, because this is a pretty major TV show. They're on defense. And this is unusual for feminism on shows like this. They're playing defense, which means we're playing offense. And that means the tide is turning. And that's one of the reasons I think they're so scared and they're so freaked out right now. They're actually they're on their heels. They're backpedaling. They're not used to doing that. Feminists are used to getting their way, like the bunch of little brats, pink hat brats that they are. So they're on defense, and that's a very good thing for us. That's progress.
That's
real
right.
Progress.
That's right. This is one giant shit test. And what do we know, guys? Let's take it back to Red Pill 101. A woman only shit tests you when she is sexually attracted to you, which means you are doing something right.
Oh, this girl would fuck me in a heartbeat, dude.
Oh, dude, come on, man. Dude, this and look at the look on her face. Dude, I swear to God, this woman likes painful sex. I can promise.
I 100% agree. That girl likes being spanked hard.
Oh my God, dude, she likes getting choked. She likes getting her hair pulled. She likes being called all kinds of. All right. Keep this YouTube friendly. Let's continue.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
You are out there raging for women to be better than men, that you dress a certain way or say that we're higher. No, when you're a man and you're a feminist, you say, I look at my partners and we're equal and I want to pave the way so that you get treated just like us. That's what feminism is about.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, absolutely.
Up with women does not mean down with men.
Yes.
Oh,
Say that again.
Up with women does not mean down with men.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what feminism is, right? Like, again, these women are trying to hedge their bets. Listen, we're for equality, but we're not over there with those extreme feminists. It's interesting. Alan Roger Curry once said that most women won't directly identify as a feminist, but 97% of women have feminist beliefs. What they're talking about now, toxic masculinity, you live in your mom's basement, this is exactly what the pussy hat wearing feminists say. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, that's really, and Alan Roger Curry's right. Most women, I know in the UK, there's a huge study where like 76% of women or whatever didn't identify as a feminist. And it was shocking. This was like 2015. It was a big thing in the red pill and the manosphere. But yeah, I agree. And that's actually the biggest problem with feminism is not these radical pink hats or the professors that are like destroy the American family and all this crazy shit. It's that they're able to distribute that shit into the wider culture.
Right.
With people who would never identify as a feminist. They don't now, they didn't years ago, and they won't in the future. But a huge majority of their belief system is significantly influenced by feminism. On top of that, not only on a personal level, but they're surrounded by it. When they go to work with the Me Too shit, the Pence rule, all this crap in the workplace now that men have to go through. Oh, yeah. Men who are managers aren't fucking closing their doors anymore when women walk in for a meeting. Nope. Of course not, because your balls are on the line every time you're alone now. It's crazy. So yeah, it's the real problem with feminism is not these little radical. They're a very vocal minority,
Yes.
And they're so vocal, they're able to distribute that to men and women. I mean, for me, that really what the blue pill is, it's like feminist brainwashing. I think a great majority of it. And that's where it comes from, is feminism. They're promoting this crap for decades. They get all these they rope in these Vichy beta males. They become the little sock puppets to control them, and they're like the bouncers. And then they influence the women too, and the women then destroy their lives, getting banged out on Tinder fucking 47 times a year. And then they're 37 years old, they got no babies, they're drowning or choking on cat hair, and they wonder where their life went. And they're still $80,000 in student loan debt for a bullshit degree to work at Starbucks the rest of their life. Like, feminism is the biggest con job in American history. Like, it's fucking nuts, man. And it's against all people too. It's crazy.
And this is why they're afraid of 22 convention, because we're taking this and we're going to turn it into a dichotomy. So these ones that are in the middle are going to have to pick a side. Either they side with these shrill harpies, or they go over to us. They either side with the guys that, made that video a couple of days ago. I think he's some sort of a comedian or musician, at that beta guy. And they either side with the effeminate men or the masculine men, but they have to pick a side. So that's why they're uncomfortable. When people are forced to pick a side, they get uncomfortable. And then we're making them uncomfortable, and then we see this reaction. And those that are really hardcore feminists, they're even more uncomfortable because they know that most women will not pick their side.
Not only have we made this real to them, we've made this tangible, right? Like, this isn't like this isn't an online convention. Dude, 99.9% of red pill and manosphere related content is on the internet. No, this is out in public where people can see and shake your hand. People can so this event, like what this has become, this has the potential to make a global impact because it's not just online. You can't flag the 22 convention. You can't report the 22 convention. You can't give a thumbs down to the 22 convention.
Well, they can still harass it, and they're trying to. They're trying desperately to find the venue to call in. They want to basically call the management and just call them 27 times a day to get us to cancel. Scream at them, racist, misogyny, sexist, blah, 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 all this bullshit they make up. You'll see that on the show in a minute, too. They actually call us racist and sexist and all this crap. They're just making shit up.
Yeah.
But they are trying to find the venue to cancel the event, though, because they're a bunch of cancel culture losers that don't respect rights like free speech and freedom of assembly. Yeah, but you made a really good point, though, Donovan, a second ago. I can't remember the words you just used. I'll think about it in a minute. I'm still waking up.
All right. Big thanks. NY Kia 31 with the $5 super chat says there is no one on the planet more privileged than Western women. I wholeheartedly agree. The more women get, the more they want. Ace in Spades with the $2 super chat says if there was a patriarchy, this show would not exist. I 100% agree. I think the word you were looking for was tangible. Brass Nut Mustache with the $2 super chat says they're just repeating empty rhetoric to feel good. That's all they're doing. You live in your mom's basement, you have a small dick, blah 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 blah. And of course, all of the fatties in the audience cheer.
Donovan, that was a really important point you made. That's what I was thinking about, is how tangible the event is, and that's why it's so threatening to them.
Yes.
And so 22 convention, I've talked about this for years with the 21 convention. Because in the manosphere, you're right. Most things are digital, ebooks, videos, courses, and blah blah blah. But the real life stuff, there is a little bit. The War Room for Cobra Tate, they have their thing. Hunter Drew has the Fraternity of Excellence meetups. They have one coming up soon in Florida, in the northwest part. Obviously, we do 21 convention and the Fatherhood edition now and stuff. So the real life things, though, they're very threatening to people. They're threatening because they're very powerful. When you meet up in person, real life relationships and these experiences. Like the attendees are supercharged. They walk into the event. They want to learn. They meet the speakers. They learn 10 times more than what we teach in the speeches and the podcasts and stuff, because they get access to the speakers for days and the workshops and dinners and coffee and all these things. But yeah, these feminists, they see that. They see how it's a real threat to them because it's real life. It's not some online webinar. It's not some video, which is great. But the real life events are serious, and it's a very real life expression of that too. It's very tangible. They feel it.
Big thanks goes out to Chief Rocca with the $50 super chat. Says one more time, Donovan, supporting your platform. I just launched Sharp Stream yesterday. Joe NY says, boys, should we care for what women do? Mental point of origin dictates that our focus is us, about making us great. Anthony, what do you say to people who make comments like that? We should be focusing on men. We should not be focusing on women. We should be focusing on male improvement, masculinity, and let the female chips fall where they may. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot, actually. I mean, for a while now, too. Because I figured, you know, a while ago, even in 2018, we would get these kind of comments from, especially from manosphere guys, like, why do you care about these women? Let them do their thing. They're gonna crash and burn. So look, I think it's very natural for men, and now it can be unhealthy too. Like white knighting is a perfect, you know, extreme example of that in a sense, the Vichy males. But it's very natural for men to have impulses and instincts to protect and lead women. This is a part of what we do as men. You can call it beta or whatever, but there's definitely an alpha component too, I would argue. So I think feminism, for example, is driving women in the West, especially in America, but also Canada, Britain, and Australia. Feminism is driving women off of a cliff and to their doom. And a lot of the damage off that cliff is irreversible. Racking up a notch count of 75 makes you basically impossible to pair bond the rest of your life with a man. You can't have a boyfriend. You can't have a husband. You can't build a family because you've had your organs rearranged so many times by so many different men. You just can't do it. You're not a man. You're not equipped to seed spray in terms of like partner counts like that. And now men can get burnt out too. You know, I mean, look at Rouge V. This guy has been out banging chicks for so long. Now he made this sharp, super hard God turn, which I think is like a form of almost like black pill. Like he doesn't know what to do with his life. He's lost. So he's just scrambling to find something that feels strong. That's my own opinion. I know Rouge doesn't like me saying that and stuff in public.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, Rouge is a good friend of mine. I don't see it that way. I think that, and I don't want to make this about.
Yeah. I'm just using an example. I'm not picking on him. He's doing what he's doing.
Listen, he's a good guy, and I think, and it's weird because in a weird way, when you have banged enough chicks, I'm not gonna lie, man. When I was out in Vegas, and I was doing girls dirty all the time, fucking them over and, you know, cheating on them and lying to them and all this other kind of stuff. After a while, you kind of start to feel guilty. I can't speak for Rouge when I say that, but maybe a little bit of guilt could be a part of that.
But what I'm saying is that it's very natural for men who are masculine to want to lead and protect women.
Of course.
And now their problems, I'm only responsible for my life and the choices I make and whatever people I take under my wing through agency and responsibility, like my family and my little nephew and stuff like that. But for women, there does come a point in culture where things get so bad and so out of control and so unhinged, like we're seeing with feminism. It's, but, you know, in the streets, these pink hats and the women's marches, and they're screaming toxic masculinity. The boys need hormones. They need Ritalin. Women are fucking perfect angels. Anyone who says different is sexist. Like they're talking, you know, Madonna's a feminist. She talked about blowing up the White House. Like these women are increasingly violent and unhinged and hysterical. And there comes a point where they're driving so many women off of a cliff that men have to stand up and do something in this country and all these countries, especially fathers and husbands who have wives and daughters that they love and they care about. And they need to exert that force into wider culture, which is what we're doing. So feminists have worked very hard to neuter powerful, strong, masculine voices just in general culture, whether it's TV or movies or news and media and all this crap. They don't want it. They've been working hard to do that diligently for decades. Men getting together now as fathers and husbands and even single men like me and Goldman speaking at the event, and AJ, no, AJ's got a girlfriend, whatever. But, you know, they can't have that because it's stopping women from destroying themselves through feminism, which is really what feminism is about. It's about destroying the family and destroying women and ultimately destroying, you know, everything else too, along with it. It's a very zero sum, like destroy everything kind of ethos they have behind it. And it's extremely negative. Like, I think it's one of the reasons I hate feminism. It's so fucking negative. It's nothing but negative moaning, bitching, and complaining about nothing. When the women today are the most, like I've said on Twitter, and it went viral pretty well, women today in America, especially, but throughout the whole Western nations, they have more freedom than all of their maternal ancestors combined.
Yes.
All of them. For the past 200,000 years of human life on this planet, they have more freedom than every single one of their mothers and grandmothers and mothers before them combined. And they actually have the fucking nerve to think they're oppressed.
Yes.
It's so far. They have, you know, they have access to things that queens for thousands of years didn't have access to, and kings and billionaires even a couple decades ago. They're so fucking out of touch with reality and unhinged. It's ridiculous, and it's got to stop, or it's going to destroy the West. We can't have families, and we can't continue our countries if women and men, with masculine women and feminine men. It doesn't work. It's just gonna fall apart into some Soviet shithole.
Big thank you to Tennessee Mountain Boy with the $5 super chat. Says only if one representative could go on this panel from the Manosphere, it would break viewing records guaranteed. Ace in Spades laughs that she had her organs rearranged. That was actually quite funny. That was actually good. All right, let us continue the video.
For them, they believe that.
Right. But they're probably also racist, homophobic, transphobic. You know what I mean? I feel like this is the gateway to
They're really scared of women. You know, that's the reason why we haven't had
Dude, listen. Dude, racist, homophobic. This is the gateway drug. Blah, blah. And then she says we're scared of women. Now, hold on. I am scared of the woman on the screen. Like, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't fight her. I would not fight that big bitch. No, sir. Like, I would not trade punches with her. I'd probably take off that hair hat that she's got on. But all jokes aside, these are the shaming tactics. These are the shaming tactics. They're racist. They're homophobic. 50% of the panel is African American, right? A guy that I used to do podcasts with, he calls it it's almost like cross-contamination. When they talk about the manosphere and the red pill, they want to throw in all of these other things to get everybody else on board with this racist, homophobic, blah, 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 blah. Well, Steve, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on what she says? Well, we're racist, homophobic, blah, 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 blah.
I thought we're white, I guess. Donovan, and I guess we're white. I don't know. That's the funniest part to me, is that the fact that they think that Anthony's racist. Anthony's opened the door for everybody. Anthony doesn't see color or race. He just sees man at the end of the day. But this, like, again, like you're saying, these are shaming tactics, and they're just saying things just to say things, just to keep riling up the women, I think.
Yep.
We got a comment here from Mr. M, says, so men should save women. See, again, those are the kinds of broad spectrum type questions. No, nobody is saying save women, Mr. M. Nobody in here says that we're saving women. What we want to do is we want to show women, we want to wake them up. Hey, this is the error of your ways. This is how to get out of that feminist sewage. Now, whatever they decide to do with that information is completely and totally up to them. We're not going to be out there passing out flyers. Save yourselves. We want to save you. No, ain't no Captain Save a Hose here, right? Like that's, again, you guys got to miss me with these ridiculous questions. You guys are killing me.
Female president yet. Look at all the other countries that have had female leaders, and the United States still has not had a female leader because you have a lot of men that are afraid of the power of women. Women are.
Oh my God.
This is so nuts, dude. Yeah, I mean, they haven't even run Hillary. In my opinion, Hillary Clinton was one of the worst fucking presidential candidates ever. The Democrats didn't even like her. The Bernie people hated her. I mean, that woman is like one of the most hated women in American history, separate from her run for. These people are delusional, man.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, dude, she's all over the place, like literally and figuratively.
They scared of women.
But we, as women, have to understand that. Yes. That's what Michelle Williams, the white Michelle Williams, was saying at the Golden Globes, is that women have to understand their power. They have to get out, they have to vote, they have to do what they need to do.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with what she just says. Women have to, let their power be known. Dude, 60%, I think it was 60 to 65% of working class white women voted for Donald Trump. What does this tell you? This tells you that there are women out here who understand that feminism is garbage. They get that. Oh, we got phone calls. All right, we're going to finish up this video, then we'll get to the phone calls real quick. Big thanks goes out to Janik with the 50 HKs. I don't know what those are. It says 22 continents covering our ass. If they choose to go forth, it'll be harder for them to blame shift when it goes south, and it will, as there will be a clear record of we told you so. I like that. I like that. So women who say, well, listen, I never knew, where was all this information? Hey, listen, the 22 convention was out there, right? Like, you can't act like you don't know. And don't get me wrong. Women can certainly sort of hang their hats on, hey, we've been raised in this sewage. Like, we understand that. Some women will say, we understand that we've been raised the wrong way. But I agree with Janik. This is sort of like a big, I told you so.
Stop supporting R. Kelly in comment section.
Yeah.
Stop supporting R. Kelly in comment sections. What the hell is she talking about? Ay. You got to be kidding me. So that now they bring in R. Kelly. Do you see how they bring in other elements just to strengthen their argument? Ay. All right, let us go to the phone lines. Guys, if you want to get in on the conversation, I'm going to put the number on the screen. Give me a call, 914-205-5356. I can't talk and type at the same time. If you're calling from outside the U.S., it is 001 914-205-5356. Before we get to that, King Nick with the $5.67 super chat says, I can only think of one class more privileged than Western women, a French poodle. Regardless, there's no denying they're the protected class of society. I could not agree more. Let us go to area code 973. Area code 973. You're on live with Donovan, or you're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up? It's Greg.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Good. You guys are ripping on my favorite show now. Don't rip on my favorite show. I love that show, man.
Oh yeah.
But no. But there was an episode that I was watching on the reel, and it was an episode about low sperm counts. And what they were talking about was that a sperm bank in the UK closed down because they were using actual dead man's sperm.
Oh.
And they asked the crowd, is that creepy or is that unethical? Everyone said creepy. I said it was abhorrent. Why would you actually be laughing at the prospect of, low sperm counts, not one, and two, using dead men's sperm? That's literally disgusting. I was watching it and I didn't know whether to turn it off or to just keep watching, but I kept watching it because I wanted to see their reactions, their facial reactions, the crowd reactions, and lots of women were cheering about that. And I think it was either the women on the right that said, it might be unethical, but if a woman wants to have a kid, maybe let's start thinking about that because men can't produce. I was like, well, men can't produce because of certain reasons. Low sperm count is one of them, but that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thanks for the call, Greg. Appreciate you calling. What are your thoughts on that?
That's pretty crazy. I never heard of that shit.
But a woman wants it, it's okay.
Yes. There you go. When a woman wants it, it's perfectly okay. As long as it's not done to women, it's perfectly okay. Pimped Out Geese with the $2 super chat says, lazy women want everything for nothing. Keep it up.
With that dead sperm thing, by the way, that almost sounds like they're normalizing. I don't think it's going to get any real traction, but it's amazing that they're even able to ask that question in public because it's like they're normalizing necrophilia.
Yeah, necrophiliac rape or something like that.
Yeah, you'd think they would stop at trying to normalize pedophilia, which is insane, but they actually are now. It looks like they're moving it to normalizing necrophilia.
Unreal.
And yeah, that is unreal. It's like whatever. Women are so overprotected and overprivileged, they're able to just get away with murder in public like that. And that's horrifyingly disgusting. Yeah, I agree with the caller.
And listen, Brian Coley puts a comment in the chat, says, if the eggs of dead women were harvested, what would the reaction be? Yeah, it would absolutely be fucking apocalypse, right?
Yep.
Like that's what it would be. That's what it'll be. All right, let's go to back to the phone lines. Area code 920. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I was just calling in because I wanted to address the problem we have with Marxist rhetoric, the kind of tricks they employ with their words and stuff.
Okay.
That stuff, it's as old as ancient Greece. It's the same shit that they would try to do, like Socrates and stuff. And that's why, the philosophy is what, was always the antidote, to that poison that they put out there. And that's why Socrates got killed. And that, like, everything with them, it seems it's like a trick with words. Like they'll call you certain names, they'll just refer to you a way to create a straw man out of you. But like, if you had to actually ask them what they exactly mean by something, what exactly they're claiming,
they couldn't do it.
And if that's true and stuff, they'd go crazy.
Yeah, they couldn't do it, right? And I totally agree with the Marxist. I totally agree with the Marxist rhetoric. The comments that they make, and I get a lot of this when guys call my show who try to challenge me on the air. They make some sort of, and I agree with you, it's Marxist rhetoric, but they try to say it real quick and then glaze over it, right? Like one guy called my show and said, well, your views on feminism, he said, Donovan, you're the best, you're the greatest, and your views on feminism, are problematic, but you have the best content. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. Wait, we got to go back. Like they try to glaze over that. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, man. Well, just like that woman, she went and listed off all the things. The one that sounds and looks like she smokes 3 packs a day. She was, she's doing exactly what they do, and like this is old, this is old methods, it's not new, and it's like semantics, the studies of words and meaning, that's what I'm really interested in and how that can, be used against this. So, that was just all I was going to say.
Well, thanks for the call. Area code 920. Let us go to area code 514. 514, you're on live with the Red Man Group.
Hey, Donovan. Hey, gentlemen. A pleasure to have you all here. Happy Chinese New Year, by the way, live from Hong Kong. I'm just going to bring some comic relief. That chick sitting in the middle of the panel, remember Conan the Barbarian?
Yes.
Doesn't she look like Tulsa Doom? Isn't she going to look like she's going to transform into a snake any minute?
She'll eat it, actually.
That's all I got to say. Peace, guys.
Donovan, I had a comment from earlier. We had the question we popped up in the text chat about saving women or protecting women and all this stuff. So at the end of the day, you know, like I said in my speech that they aired on some of the news programs, women follow, men lead. So not only is it instinctive for men to lead and protect, especially in dire situations, including at a massive cultural level, I don't think women are going to lead themselves out of feminism. And I think they've demonstrated that and proved that in action for decades upon decades upon decades. There is some pushback. Some women push back. Christina Hoff Sommers, Janice Fiamengo, Dr. Helen Smith. There's a number of prominent women who are pushing back, but they don't get a lot of traction. And women follow men. So men, and so we can't also, I also want to say that we can't save women. They're going to eventually have to save themselves. But they need a direction to lead away. Feminists are leading them off a cliff. Men need to lead them away from the cliff and, you know, destroying themselves. And women have to choose to follow us. And that's what they're doing with tickets to the convention. And that's what they'll do slowly, reluctantly with the videos we publish, the speeches. Those are going to get a bunch of traction and a bunch of hate and all this stuff. But slowly, bit by bit, through reason and especially through emotional impact and the masculinity that we present in our speeches, that's very positive and very genuine, very benevolent. I think we can lead millions of women away from this toxic feminist crap. And it's not, and a lot of it, you know, these people will attack us and say you can't logic with women at all. And I don't think that's exactly true. What I think is more important, though, is that we're very masculine and very strong and very powerful, and that we get up in public and speak. And that alone, that action is what will lead them away from feminism. It won't even be the words and ideas so much as it is the personality and the presence and the masculinity that we bring to the stage, the positive masculinity that they're starving for, especially these women on the panel we just looked at. But millions of American women and Canadian women and stuff are desperate for masculinity in their lives. And that's what we're doing. That's why they're so afraid. And again, I think it's very natural, though, for men to want to do that. And we should do it at some select points and not become white knights in the process, which is a slippery slope.
So we have Georgia in the chat here. Says women shouldn't have basic human rights. Make women great again. Am I right? You guys are such incels. And of course, she misspelled it. Number one, Georgia, we know you look nothing like your avatar there. Number two, no one on this panel is advocating for women not to have basic human rights. No, we want women to be feminine. That's why shows like this exist. Noah, what are your thoughts on statements like that? Women shouldn't have basic human rights. How dare you? You guys are incels.
It's a shit test. What she's saying is, I'd be okay if you tried to take some of my rights away. And I want you to prove I'm not an incel, that you're not an incel by pleasuring me until I can't handle it anymore. That's what they're asking for.
Yes.
It's a shit test. And she's shit testing because in her life, she probably shit tests every man she knows and he fails. And so they're desperately looking. The closest they can get to a masculine man in their life is someone they're finding online. That's how they're shit testing us.
There you go.
The women that are happy, they don't message us except for occasionally like a positive message. They're probably not even online. They're busy with their kids and their husband.
Yeah, Georgia. Listen, it is what it is. I think women like Georgia. Like I said, Georgia looks nothing like her avatar. Number one. Number two, Georgia. That's the kind of woman who knows she needs the 22 convention. So let's start a GoFundMe page for Georgia to get her the ticket to the 22 convention. Let us go back to the phone lines. Area code 216. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I had a question. I think this movement is excellent, but in the long run, how are we going to compete with the institutions in their radical leftist propaganda, like the public school system, the media, radical liberal leftist groups? The list goes on and on. How can we compete with that?
That's a good question, man. How can we compete with mainstream media, right? Because go ahead.
They're too powerful. I mean, this propaganda, this garbage has been shoved down our throats since, the beginning, from preschool.
Yeah, but the problem is what you believe is what you believe. Stop making excuses, man. Yeah, you have a choice of believing what is being quote unquote shoved down your throat, and that's y'all's problem. Stop pointing the finger at everybody and being a victim and say, look, if they're saying something I don't believe in, I turn it off or walk away from it. But it's not being shoved down your throat. You're allowing it to be shoved down your throat, man.
I think there's something. I actually think there's some. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, I'm not being a victim. I'm just saying from a complete picture, the general person, the general public is having a lot of liberal garbage shoved down their throat from at a young age.
Right. I can hop in this, and without even getting into the politics end of it, just with feminism as like a cultural like thrust, I think I've proven with Make Women Great Again that you can make a significant pushback against this crap. I've reached through our speakers and our website, we've reached 80 million people, more than 80 million, just in the past 3.5 weeks or something like that. So it is hard. I mean, feminism is a multi-billion, if not trillion-dollar institution throughout the West, because they have the reins of power in divorce court, family court, military, government agencies, schools, universities, the workplace. I mean, we're swimming in feminism all day, every day, and it sucks. And you can reject it personally, and your friends you can influence and stuff. But beyond that, it is hard. But I've been able to go get mainstream attention for these ideas. Feminists are on defense, which is a fantastic thing to see. That means they're losing. It means they're not winning a debate to the point that they're shrieking and freaking out and they're scared. And I even went on mainstream TV with Piers Morgan. Maybe look at that video in a minute. And me and Janice Fiamengo were able to take these people to task and give given how shitty the show was in terms of like the dialogue and the attacks and all this crap, we're still able to get some points across and get people interested in ideas that are not feminist at all, that have 0% feminism and thinks feminism is stupid. So you can make progress, but it's going to take a long time. But feminism's they've been doing this for decades, like 100 years now at minimum, brainwashing people with this crap. So it can be done, but it's hard.
The good news is that the message of feminism is very fragile.
Yes.
It's against millions of years of evolution. It's against women's nature. It's against everything that makes them women. And all we have to do is appeal to who women really are. We have to appeal to their nature. We have to appeal to the femininity, which they've been naturally selected for throughout all of human history. They have to encourage women to do something incredibly unnatural. They have to encourage women to not have children. If they do, to abandon them to daycare and not spend time with them. Yes. To focus on masculine pursuits. All we have to do is say, do what's natural. That's basically our message. Do what's natural. You're going to be happy.
Yeah, no doubt. Women and men are born for each other. We're born to love each other. We're born to fuck, have sex, have relationships, build families. And yeah, what we're doing is perfectly in line with nature. And that feminism is very unnatural. So yeah, we do have the winning side of the argument on that in terms of like history and facts and tradition and what feels natural to women. Dude, women want to get wifed up and knocked up, period. Like yes. The vast majority of them. They don't want to drown in cat hair and drown making lattes at Starbucks the rest of their life. Most of them, especially absent feminism, if like in Poland, when I went there for the convention, dude, these women, they all want to have babies and have families. And they're like, yeah, that looks pretty like a good idea. No one's fucking screaming at them. No one has a fucking belt on their neck in public like, bitch, make me some babies. They just want to do this. They want to reproduce. They're a human being. Of course they want to reproduce. Well, they're a fucking living animal.
Well, this is why feminists and I guess you call them females, this is why they're not happy, because they're not doing what they're naturally programmed to do. Feminists are miserable because feminism is teaching them to go against their natural programming. Yep. And let's keep it real. Sleeping with a bunch of guys is far more exciting than being a housewife, but being a housewife is far better for you. Sleeping around is exciting, not fulfilling, right? Being a housewife doesn't give you the energy rush of getting pounded out by 7 guys in 3 days, which may or may not have been at the same time, but it's not going to fulfill you, right? So while you might not have the dopamine and adrenaline rush that comes with sleeping around, you can be fulfilled. You can be fulfilled by having a family, having a husband and children that love you. Let me get to the super chat here. Ace in Spades with the $2 super chat says, no basic human rights in the West versus Saudi Arabia. Then we had another $25 super chat from Judge Lot. Says, great stuff, guys. I want to, before we go back to the phone lines, Chris Palmer made a very interesting comment in the chat. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. 3668, you're next, followed by 215-510 and 347. He says, has anyone noticed how extreme the gynocentrism is, given that a 21 convention can happen unnoticed for years, but a 22 convention gets immediate mainstream coverage? What are your thoughts on that? I agree 100%.
Yeah, I can hop in. That's well put. Yeah, I mean, we poked the $1 billion feminist bear by just doing something positive for women. The way he's stating it is very accurate. Like, we do live in a completely gynocentric society. It's a soft matriarchy, not a patriarchy. There is kind of obviously a gender, the gender relations are collapsing. There's like a gender war, so to speak, in a lot of ways. And things like Me Too and Believe Women are expressions of that. But yeah, women, you know, men are not allowed to talk to. What makes women great is mansplaining. It's plain and simple. Women love masculinity. They love mansplaining. That's why the feminists have tried to weaponize it against us. It has nothing to do with belittling women or talking like down to them. It's that they want to neuter masculine voices, fathers, husbands, uncles, grandfathers, brothers. They don't want me talking to my little sister, telling her to listen to her husband and do what he says, to love him and respect him. It's the father of your child. My other sister too. They don't want masculine voices anywhere at any time for any reason, unless they are towing the Vichy male, little bitch boy line, because we're dangerous. And women are made great by great men and men who love them and have relationships with them and all that. You know, you guys, the three of you all have girlfriends and wives. Your women are better because you're in their lives and you talk to them, and those women respect you and they look for your advice and your counsel and protection. They feel safe around you. Like, these are very positive things, and feminists hate all that shit. Anything natural and that promotes connection between men and women that's positive, feminists fucking hate it. And yeah, we can talk to men all day long, right? And we don't get noticed. But we talk to women, it's the fucking apocalypse.
So Maddie Weirda in the chat asks, why do you guys think that it's either housewife or person who sleeps around? So what she's asking us here is, why are we making this a polar opposite discussion, right? Why is there no in between? And big shout out to Nomadic Crier with the $100 super chat. Says, long I've God given masculinity. I'll get to that in a second. Appreciate Nomadic Crier with the $100 super chat. So what are your let me get your thoughts on this. So Maddie is telling us, why do you guys think it's either housewife or person who sleeps around? Why is it one extreme? Why is it barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen or epic horror? Or is it like that? Is that a disingenuous question?
When you're talking about large groups of people and you're trying to give generalized advice, you have to create some polarization in order to give the advice that works. Now, of course, you should get some direct personal advice. Hopefully, if the woman has a father she can rely on, he should be giving her some personal advice for her life. But the reality is that we got to have something to do. With men, there's very few men that are medium producers. I think it was Jordan Peterson that said that if you write a book, you're going to write a ton of books, or you're going to write no books.
Right. So
if you're going to screw up your life, you're going to screw it up royally, or you're going to send it on a great trajectory. There's very few people that just kind of do mediocre. Look at men. Men are either highly successful or total losers. There's very few guys that are in the middle. Go ahead.
I agree 100%. And you want to know what? Yes, I do believe that it is either housewife or person who sleeps around. There is no in between when it comes to women. Women fall into one society. Our culture does not allow for women to be in the middle. It puts pressure on them. Pick a side. Either be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, or you can sleep around. There is no in between. And I'll submit this to you. Girls who try to live in between end up sleeping around anyway. That's how this works. And girls who sleep around can't become good, healthy wives and mothers, so they end up continuing to sleep around. I'm sure they're...
Or they try to cover it up, and I think we're going to see what's happening now, especially in the 2020s. I think we're going to see a big turn towards like the trad... Like in the UK right now, they have the trad wife stuff going on. Which is good. I like seeing that, right?
I like asking, is this false dichotomy between pregnant and not pregnant? What about the half pregnant women? There's no such a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this question to the panel. And he said, long live God-given masculinity. I couldn't figure that out. Sometimes I'm just not that intelligent. It is what it is. Nomadic Crier. So what is in between? So Maddie, I know you're probably not still in the chat. So if you don't think that it's either one or the other, I would like for you to either call in or don't even put it in the chat. Give us a call, Maddie, 914-205-5356, and tell me what your definition of in between is. Because
I think with Maddie, you know what I bet she's doing? I bet she's the kind of girl that's going to hoe it up on Tinder in her 20s.
Yep.
She'll hit the 30 wall or 31 or 32 or whatever. She'll freak out. She will scrub her Instagram and clean all this stuff. and she'll have this good girl turnaround.
Yep.
And if that was deeply genuine on some amazing level, and she's like, holy fuck, I fucked up my life, fine. But I can guarantee you, as we all know, that 90% of cases, it's bullshit. They want to have their cake and eat it too, because they want to be these little duplicitous little frauds. And that's why feminism is so fucking dangerous, because the damage it causes to these women is for the most part irreversible, or it's very, very hard to undo. You can't unfuck 50 men you fucked on Tinder.
Oh,
that's a permanent part of your history. You can't do that.
And so
what her question really is, can I get the benefits of having sex with triple-digit men and the benefits of being a housewife? That's the real question.
No, and well, here's the thing. The answer to that question is yes, but there is a caveat. Can women sleep with men into the triple digits and still end up a housewife? Absolutely. But here's the problem. These are the kinds of women that cheat on their husbands. You want to know why they cheat on their husbands? Because the kind of men who will have them after they slept with men into the triple digits are not the kind of men they want to be. But they don't want to be alone, so they end up marrying these guys. Well, Donovan, what if they just lock down a high-value male? Because high-value men know the difference between a woman you marry and a woman you only fuck. So again, there is no in between. You can't hit the brakes at 30 years old and decide that you want to just be a house. No, it doesn't work that way. Once a slut, always a slut. You can try as you might to change. You will always have hoe tendencies. There will be things about you that will garner male attention. My own girlfriend, the great Donovan Sharp, his own girlfriend. Devin used to be a hoe. Like, let's keep it all the way real. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think I found some snowflake. No, Devin used to sleep around. Look at her. Look at her body. She's got huge tits. She's got a great ass. Of course she's fucked around, right? And when you do that, there are some characteristics and traits that are always going to stick with you. And the only way they're going to leave you is if you have a strong man to tamp those down. And even then, it's sometimes...
Well, that is the problem with women sleeping around, is they also accumulate these alpha experiences, and the bar keeps getting raised higher and higher and higher for the kind of genuine dominance they're going to need to live a feminine life. And it's unusual that they're going to find a guy like you to do that. Of course. And also, why would, if the guy's even willing to entertain the idea of a relationship, in most cases they won't, but some cases they will.
And I can't blame them if they don't, because relationships are fucking hard work, especially with women. Dude, I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't some days where I think to myself, dude, I wish I were fucking single. Like, dude, 8 to 9 days out of 10, I don't think, okay, I'm glad I'm in this relationship. But every once in a while, I'm like, dude, this is a fucking headache. I'm human. My girlfriend's human. That's how it is. Relationships these days, it's almost unnecessarily difficult to have a relationship in this day and age. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. I think we had another super chat in here that I may have forgotten, but I'll scroll up and see. Oh, Retro Fan with the $5 super chat says, women complain about getting used for sex when that's all they have to offer. Can't cook, clean, or stay loyal. Charles Merchant says, show me a woman that is submissive, or show me a woman that submits herself to a man, and I will show you a feminist that says she is being abused. Wow. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to, looks like we have got a caller from overseas. Your number ends in 3668. You're on live with the Redman Group. Go ahead.
Hola, buenos dias, Don.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
It's me from Belgium.
From Belgium, yes.
The guy from Belgium. Yeah, so I had a question about my dating past. But first I want to touch on this Mary question about the dichotomy between, is she going to be a barefoot and housewife, or is she going to be sleeping around? Actually, in my opinion, all girls, all their pussies work the same. I've seen it in dating. They can have high degrees, low degrees. They can be feminine, masculine. In the end of the day, they all are hypergamous. Let me give you an example. Like I dated this girl from Tinder, and she was like a typical tradcon. And what she wanted was like, she was attracted to me on the first date. I tried to kiss her and so forth. And she wanted like in a committed relationship. And these tradcons are your typical serial monogamists. They will rack up body counts beyond double digits, but they will do it from relationship to relationship to relationship. Now, so that's my point on the whole Maddie question, is that in the earlier years from 16 to 25, most girls will fuck around, you know. Sure. Despite their education level, their background, it doesn't matter. And when they get a bit older, after 25, when the wall is coming up, they will settle down for a more beta guy. And they will try to cover up their past, like you guys said. And what I've noticed here in Europe is the Eastern culture, the Eastern European culture, is that the girls will put a break on the bed hopping much earlier than the Western girls. So you will usually see the Tunisian, Turkish, the Ukrainian, Russians, they will usually put the brakes on it about the bed hopping at age 23 instead of 27 or 25 or later than the Western nieces, you could say. But let me touch to the topic I wanted to discuss about my dating life. I've dated these girls in the past, and mostly I can find my way with the most feminine ones. Despite intelligence, because I have a friend who I do day game with in Belgium, and so I can rack up quite some volume and dates. But what I wanted to say is that usually when I date a girl who has a degree in law, in business or economics, it's like when I talk to her on a date, it usually doesn't work out. It feels like two rams standing head to head against each other.
Oh, okay. I guess we lost. All right, Bernie in Belgium. That's what I call him, Bernie in Belgium. Give us a call back. So we've got Maddie on the line. Maddie Weirda is the girl that asked the question. Why do you guys believe that it's bipolar? Why do you think it's polar opposites? Why do you think it's either housewife or whore? Maddie, the floor is yours.
Hi. I'm not here to like talk for a long time because I actually got shit to do. But
oh god,
why? Like, how come?
Okay, Maddie. First of all, sweetie,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like seriously, like you've got better shit to do. Like for real, that's what you're gonna do, right? Listen, I'll give you the floor, but have some respect, chick. Like for real. Listen, we're gonna give you the floor. We're gonna try to answer your question. The reason I brought you on was to get a little context. Maybe there was something that we missed. Maybe you had a point to make. Maybe we could talk about it. First thing you say, well, I got better shit to do. Well,
this is a red pill moment for the viewers watching who are newer to the red pill and the manosphere. Ignore her words and watch her actions.
Right.
You got better shit. She has better shit to do. No, she doesn't. She spent time in her life and prioritized in that exact moment, in the now, the power of now, to call up the fucking show and get on the fucking air and say, I got better shit to do. No, you don't. You absolutely fucking do not. And your actions just prove that, and you're a fucking liar. Get the fuck out of the show. Thank you for hanging up on her, Donovan.
Well, I actually still have her on hold. She's still on here so she can hear all of this. What Maddie did.
Oh, good.
Listen, what Maddie did is the equivalent of a girl bending, like getting in front of you on a first date and sucking your dick and then looking into your eyes and say, you know, I don't normally do this.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, Maddie, I'm going to give you another chance here. Tell us why we're wrong. You know, never mind. Never mind. Like if she had
back in the kitchen, you go, Maddie. Back in the kitchen.
We have had
me some cookies.
We've had women call the show before, and we've had some pretty decent conversations with women on the show. I think Maddie and Kitten Holiday, those are the only two women that I'm just like, ugh. Like Maddie didn't even have a point to make. Well, first of all, I want to let you know that I'm not going to talk for long because I have better things to do with the upspeak and blah, 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 blah. Oh, God.
Let me come in here and begin by insulting you and wasting time and talking, cursing and talking shit. Like, it's just stupid, man. These are women who don't respect men or admire men. Like, they're haters.
Nope.
She had a lot of cats that needed feeding and a box of wine that needed to be opened. And she just didn't have time to talk to us.
Nope, she didn't. But she somehow still called us.
Yep.
Interesting.
I don't usually do this for the 87th time.
Of course you don't. Oh, listen to this. Actually, I'm going to go work on my business right now. Okay, so you have a business making cat toys. Bravo. Area code 215. You're on live with the Red Man Group. And if Maddie really did have stuff to do, what are you still doing in the chat? 215. You got the floor.
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Good. Donovan, you and I are both from Philly, so
yes, sir.
How's it going, neighbor?
Yes, sir. Hey, yeah, you probably live right down the road from me.
Yeah, I'm in the Northeast, but I just wanted to say that I love all you guys' content, and when I was watching the real show, I've had quite a different experience with the manosphere and stuff. I will post like random red pill truth. Although I wouldn't say it's red pill, just a truth. And I'll tell you, women, they respond differently in private than like publicly. They are starving for like real men. I've gotten a lot of DMs. They would like, love, react to all my shit. So for the fellas out there, they are starving for this type of stuff, but they won't say it. They'll keep the feminist cloak over them so the mob doesn't come after them. But once they lock down a man, they'll probably reveal the cloak off of them because they feel safe. But they are starving for this type of stuff.
Unbelievable.
So,
Listen,
that's all I wanted to say.
Area code 215 is 100% accurate. 99.9% of these women, when you get them just one-on-one, because all feminism is it's just a performance. I have to act a certain way so people don't come after me. Do you see when girls put on social media like, hey, I'm a happy married wife making cookies, blah, 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 blah. She's attacked. Like she's eviscerated. So out in public, girls have to be like, oh, men are dogs, men are this, men are that. But when you get a girl by herself up close and personal, you will find that most of the time she's like, you know what? I kind of understand what you guys mean. And then if you talk to her for a little bit longer, yeah, you guys are kind of right. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, feminists are the biggest bullies in the world, man. The biggest bigots and the biggest bullies. They especially bully other women who don't agree with them. The minute they walk off the feminist misery plantation, they get screamed at and yelled at and cursed at. Very similar to how we're treated by speaking up and talking to women. So yeah, it's just disgusting, man. And I think that's one of the reasons they got really mad at the webpage, the sales page for 22Con.
Yep.
Is that there was a line at the beginning that said you no longer have to give in to the toxic bullying feminist dogma. Those couple words strung together is the first time that's been said at a major level that got major attention, and it really has highlighted the duplicitous, fake bullshit, the fake mask of feminism. There are all these little angels and little pink snowflakes and little unicorns that are just about equality and virtue signaling bullshit. And when you rip that mask off like we did, you reveal these fucking nasty bullies who hate men, who hate themselves, who hate women, and especially who hate women who want to be feminine and embrace motherhood and family and shit like that. And no one's forcing these women to do that. They just want to look at the wives we have here and look at Tanner Guzzi's wife and Hunter Drew's wife. These women it's very natural for women want to get pregnant and have babies and build families. And the minute they do that before the age of 35, they just get screamed at by these feminist, nasty little pink Bolsheviks. Disgusting.
They bully because bullying gives them power, and power gives you a massive dopamine hit. They're literally drug addicts, and their drug of choice is bullying other women. And we're a bunch of guys who literally don't care what they think, and we still you feel the attack on you. I had to ban like 20,000 names off my Facebook page for being constantly bombarded with attacks because it was making it unreadable in the comment section. Feminine women, gentle, nice, kind, feminine women don't want to deal with these bullies. They need us to stand up for them. A lot of people think we're here to tell women what to do. We're not here to tell women what to do. We're here to protect the women that are not feminists, the women that want to be feminine, basically we're here to protect the women that are on our side, to let them know that we've got their back.
Yep.
So Katie Nicole in the chat, and oh, by the way, looks like Katie, not too bright, looks like she's misspelled her last name. She says, have you actually met a woman? Well, since the start of the show, no, I've not met a woman. Maddie Weirda, who is obviously very good at multitasking as she is working on her business and trolling the comments section, says they didn't want to listen. They don't get my 2 cents. I guess.
Yeah, Maddie's obviously still hooked on the show. She's one of our biggest fans now, apparently. Look, Maddie, do you respect men at all? Because it sounds like you don't. It sounds like the idea of respecting men has never even crossed your fucking mind. You're a rude little bigot. You hate men, and you get on the show cursing at us and trying to get us to shut up. And yeah, bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Loser.
And listen, this is funny. I think she respects us very much. I think this is why she's still in the chat. I think her nether regions are
oh yeah.
She's never been addressed like this by a man ever, right? Like she's never been talked to like this. And so she's like, I'm pissed off, but I'm turned on. Fuck,
yeah.
Happening.
Yeah.
Like that's what's happening. That's what
imagine being a woman today these women just don't respect men. They don't respect They just print. It's all this fake news lip service about equality, and yet they have no respect for men in their lives or in public. They're fucking rude and have no manners. Low class, no class, bigots.
Well, they don't respect men because every man in their life gives in to everything they want.
There you go. Not us. And that's why she still pays attention. Solo Mitch says, Maddie needs some dick. I wholeheartedly agree. Not getting it from this guy.
That is the most likely remedy to her current situation in life. I'm not a doctor, but
not a doctor.
Officially, Dr. Dream says that's what she needs.
She needs the D.
Twice daily.
When she's moody, listen, when she's moody, grab her booty. That's how that works. Area code 510. You're on live with the Red Men group. Go ahead. This is great.
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I have a red pill story that the message pretty much is that a woman's never really worth your life. Is that right?
Never. Hell no. Never worth your life, dude. No way.
Yeah. So pretty much the situation is that my dad is a defense attorney and he specializes in murder cases. In this case recently, this kid around 21, 22, my age, he never had any prior record. His girlfriend broke up with him. And long story short, he felt like there was nothing left for his life. So he decides to take the life of his girlfriend and her boyfriend and himself. Another long story short is that everybody survived. Everybody's alive. And my dad goes to the hospital and sees him with a bullet wound in his head. And his father is crying in my father's arms. And he's saying, why did this have to happen? Why did this have to happen? And I think to myself that, man, if this guy just had red pill content, if he just knew that this girl was never his, it was just his turn.
That's right.
Then this all could have been prevented, you know?
Jesus Christ, man. So let me get this straight.
Sorry to make a downer, sorry.
So let me get this straight. Girl breaks up with her boyfriend. The boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, then goes and tries to kill ex-girlfriend, the new boyfriend, and himself, and he didn't kill anybody.
Yes.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yes.
So now he's on trial for what? Attempted murder?
Yeah, double homicide.
Double fucking homicide.
Or double attempted murder, something like that.
Thanks for the call, area code 510. Listen, man, the red pill saves lives, guys. And the red pill doesn't just save male lives, it saves female lives. We got dudes out here who are so mad at women. Like, okay, so his girlfriend cheated on him and got with another dude. Dude, I've been there before. This shit sucks because it fucking hurts. But before I even found the red pill, never in a million lifetimes would it even cross my mind to go and put two slugs in the boat and put them 6 feet under. This is how desperate the situation is getting, man. Steve, let me get your thoughts on that, right? If this kid were your son, I'm going to play your son. Daddy, my girlfriend Maddie just broke up with me. I found out she's fucking this big dick dude. He calls himself Big Dick Donovan. I want to hurt somebody. What do I do? What would you tell your son if he came to you like that?
I wouldn't tell him shit because I wouldn't have no son doing no bitch shit like that. I'd disown him. I'm serious.
There would be no son to disown.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you can't hold my. You can't hold my name doing cake shit like that. So fuck no.
No, sir. You'd be like, I'm sorry. Were you adopted? Like, are you?
Yeah. You ain't my kid. I'm not claiming you. I wouldn't even go to the hospital. I'm done.
Jesus. Paternity test. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Area code 347. Area code 347. You were on with the Red Man Group, and you go ahead.
Hi, Donovan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to talk about a comment that Steve said earlier, which is also a disagreement I had with Dr. Jordan Peterson, which is you cannot believe away the legal system. The legal system is heavily feminist, and feminism is influencing public policy. And we can't just, say to people that, your belief, and you just can't, you just have to discount it out of your mentality. The legal system, we live in an organized society, and we have to, that's what our civilization is.
What does that have to do,
sir?
I live in New York, and it's terrible here.
Okay, sir, let me, since you address me, let me address you. First off, you ain't on my level of thinking. So first off, let's get that straight. Second off, I don't care what the fuck you think. I'm just telling you what I think. You're allowed to think what you
You're not the law. You're not.
But no, I'm not the law. But
you are not the law.
If you went to the 21 convention, you would have heard that I told guys You have to follow the law. You can ask anybody. I tell all these guys, if you kill somebody, you're going to jail. That's a law that you have to understand. So what are you whining about, brother? I don't understand.
Let me ask you this, caller. What was your disagreement with what? Because I don't know. Like, you still haven't said what Steve said that you disagreed with.
We were talking earlier when you guys were talking about the feminism that is taught in the schools and so on. It seems that he was saying that feminism is just this idea that's taught in school, but feminism is influencing public policy in the family courts and in disagreements between men and women.
Well, when I talked about this, I said very clearly that feminism is everywhere.
It is everywhere.
Yeah.
But I said, what is it got? Again, you don't think like me. I didn't say it wasn't everywhere. It is everywhere. I'm asking you, sir, what does it got to do with you? It doesn't have nothing to do with me unless you want to do something. That's what I'm saying.
He said it disagrees with you on something.
What
did Steve say that you disagree with?
He said that someone called in and they were talking about the influence of feminism within society.
Okay.
And that influence doesn't just exist within our social construct in society, it also exists in the legal system.
I think, Steve, I don't know. I think, no, listen, I agree with you. And I think
it's not just a disagreement, it's an addition to what, it's not just the belief in society that they're spreading. They're also influencing public policy, and they're trying to influence judgment.
Again, caller, listen, I think, caller, my man, hey, check this out, bro.
His feelings, bro.
It's just, no, I don't listen. I don't think he's in his feelings, but I just don't like when people talk through me, right? Like, I don't like what Steve agreed with what the guy said. I think this is a case of miscommunication. I think maybe you misheard something or whatever, but well,
I'll say this: if DDJ was here, like he is, usually if his dog doesn't eat the paper at homework, he would say that a failure of the manosphere for a long time is for it to be somehow politically active. And feminists, what this guy's saying, feminists have been very politically active. They're hyper politically active.
Yes,
they weaponize the courts and the family courts to fuck over men, and it's very destructive to families and to society. And it needs to eventually change. So the men's rights activists have done some stuff with that, but there needs to be a lot more progress on that. But they're not. I think for now they don't have what it takes to get that job done. But I'm trying to change that. And I think I'm making progress on that. Because the battle is not primarily in politics, however much that's been weaponized, and they've weaponized it a lot. The battle is in hearts and minds and homes and families and relationships. It's in culture. And that's why I think the feminists are really scared of it. This conference, 22 convention, it's not some political rally. It has nothing to do with politics almost.
Right. Absolutely.
I see obviously the resemblance to Make America Great Again, but other than that, it's just about women and about men and about femininity and all these things. Mm-hmm. And how stupid feminism is on every level, not just politics and family court. So that's, I think, why they're so scared, because it's not men's rights act. They keep trying to paint us as men's rights activists.
No,
almost none of us are. Maybe Molly and Cernovich. That's it.
It's out there. I say one more time. It's out there, caller. Okay. Do you feel better now?
Listen, listen, Seeker of Truth with the $2 super chat says, great show. Jamar Barnes says, I don't think he's trying to disagree. It's a miscommunication. Well, Jamar, he actually said, I disagree. He said, I wanted to address something that I disagreed with Steve the Dean on, as well as Jordan Peterson. So yeah, it was a miscommunication. That was confusing. He said he disagreed with something Steve said. He never really said what he disagreed with. So we'll just.
Yeah, I believe in the law. I always tell hey, if you had that ticket to the 21 convention, you would have heard what I said.
No,
so your ticket to the 21 convention, patriarchy dissing, because Uncle Dean said something like that. Thank you. Shout to anyone.
Area code 310. You're on live at the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. When they say the guy earlier said that they teach feminism in school and everything. I grew up in LA, so basically grew up being taught that the Democratic Party was naturally good and the Republicans are naturally bad.
Sure.
And to respond to what someone else earlier said, they said that it doesn't matter what you're taught, it's what you believe. But it took me a long time to break out of that mindset. Once I did, I'm just really disgusted with the left because I felt like I've been lied to my whole life.
Yeah. It's hard to
this ideology that they're shoving it.
Listen, I've actually been through what you've been through. It's actually called the anger phase, and the anger phase is what happens when you figure out that you have been lied to. There is an indoctrination happening. I don't think anybody denies that. I think that indoctrination is obvious. I guess within mainstream culture, mainstream society, whatever the case may be. But it is very hard to break from that mindset, especially when you've been raised in it your entire life. It's very, very hard to change your mindset. From that standpoint.
I would say though, like Steve said, that as much as they shove feminism down our throats, young men and young women, little girls and little boys, it is ultimately your responsibility. You accepted it at some point, and therefore it's your responsibility to reject it. And that's what women have to do. We can talk all day long about how men and women are different, including psychologically different. But at the end of the day, they've been fed a line of bullshit. They have been lied to and manipulated, and they need to reject that. And we're going to teach them how to do that as fast as they can and as quickly as they can, and undo as much harm as they can as feminism has caused them. I can't save them. They have to save themselves.
There you go.
The same way when people say they seem hypocritical because they bang girls off Tinder and stuff. Look, I'm not when a girl has a notch count of 47 and I'm number 48, I'm not responsible for the previous 47 dudes. That was 100% on her. I had nothing to do with that. I'm not responsible for it. I am responsible in part for being number 48, duh. But I'm not making her life worse. It's going to make no fucking difference in her life if she has sex with me, because she's already done so much catastrophic damage to her pair bonding.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is interesting, Anthony, because I get this a lot. Well, Donovan, when you were fucking girls left and right, you were more of the problem instead of the solution. Dude, it's not. Don't listen. I banged the girl of my own free will and volition. She succumbed to me, right? That's not my fault. I'm a man. I'm going to try to fuck you because I'm a man, and that's what I'm going to do, right?
Yeah, she's done with dozens of other men before you too, though. 99% of the time at this point.
I tell my guys this all the time. You have to have the mindset with the girl you're with. Listen, you're gonna have to protect yourself from me because I am going to try to fuck you. Like, you look like you could have the makings of probably a long-term relationship, but if you let me fuck you on the first date, that's out. That's a wrap. I am going to try because that's what I do. Right?
My mindset is different. I just expect all women to fuck me immediately, pretty much.
Well, you do it as a shit test, right? You do it for two reasons. Because number one, you're trying to fuck. But number two, that's a shit test to a woman. You want to know how to shit test a woman? Try to fuck her on the first date. If she fucks you on the first date, she's failed the shit test. No, do I stop fucking her? No, dude, fuck her. Let the good times roll. But you now know that if you have sex with a female on the first date, then she is not long-term relationship material. Now, just because she doesn't bang you on the first date doesn't necessarily mean that she isn't a hoe. Girls are very, very good at sort of being nice, right? They're very good. They have PhDs in hide my notch countology. We have a lot of whores out here pretending that they're Madonnas, but girls can't keep up the charade for long, guys. They can keep it for 1, maybe 2 months max. After a while, their true colors are going to show.
My bigger concern is really like looking at not even notch count, because you can never really fucking know what it is. There's no, unless you have a magic wand to get inside of her head, you don't know.
No.
But what you can look at is family structure. What's her family like, where she comes from, how close and how positive is the relationship she has with her mom and her dad, brothers, especially male relatives, if you get to know them. And also, I always say that the ultimate notch count test is watching how a woman interacts with you whenever you have sex, first date, second date, third date, whatever the fuck. Watch how she interacts with you in sex, and that's going to tell you everything about her sexual history, down to the micro nuanced detail. Is she nervous? How does she use her hands and things like that? That will tell you when in the heat of the moment how much experience she has sexually. And that, I think, is the biggest tell you can look for with any objectivity to it. You have to watch for things that she doesn't know you're watching for. Watch for those small details. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Watch how she handles your dick. I know that's kind of crude or whatever, but at the end of the day, that is the ultimate test of how many dicks she has had in her hand. Watch how she uses it, her hands and stuff.
Alpha Bucks, Beta Bucks with the $5 super chat says, kill yourself for a woman. We laugh at shit like that in the manosphere. Nomadic Crier with another $50 super chat says, make men red again. Wolves 2.0 asks, the 22 convention is $2,000. How are females going to afford that if most are broke as fuck? Dude, women make time and money for things that are important to them. Steve, what are your thoughts?
This is okay. What you don't understand, they can't afford it because they have a bunch of suckers out there that they already got lined up as bank accounts.
Straight up.
They can get whatever they want when y'all guys, women spend, like you were saying, Donovan. Women don't spend their money; they spend your money.
Right?
You don't spend their money; they spend their money on guys like Anthony, Noah, and Donovan. They spend that because that's an investment. But anything else, they're going to get that from somebody else. They're going to fund their trip and their hotel stay just for a selfie.
Now, I'll say this too, though: the price is not almost. It's unlikely anyone will pay $2,000. That's the price of the ticket if you show up literally May 1st.
Right.
Right now, the ticket price per woman is $500. So the 2,000 is just fake news kind of hoopla. They're just trying to look at anything to attack it with.
And
the tickets are $1,000, and you can bring a friend free. So it's $499.50 right now to attend. So it's not that much money. It's a 3-day conference too. This is bullshit.
Women tens of thousands of dollars on weaves and makeup and shoes and clothes and massages and nails and other kinds of crap.
Yeah, they can come up with a few hundred.
Doing it for themselves. That's bullshit. They're doing it to attract a man, and we're telling them how they can take all that investment they've already made and get the most out of it,
and not have to spend $2,000 on fake products to attract a man, right? And listen, and I agree with Noah 100%. Dude, women get fake hair, fake nails, fake this. They get breast implants and all this other kind of stuff. You can come up with a couple of $100. You can come up with a few $100 to try to make yourself great again. Let us go to area code 817. Area code 817. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan, you guys got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, it is a pleasure to be able to talk to you, and especially having these other red pill guys on. Just want you guys to know it's an absolute honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to bring something a little bit different to the conversation, if that's okay.
Sure.
I am a happily married man, 20 years, have a great wife. My kid's in the office right now playing ABC Mouse, just hanging out here to speak to you guys. One of the things that happens when you're married as long as I am, and I've kind of had this epiphany over the last couple of years, and this might not apply to, some of you guys in this conference, but being married as long as I have been, you realize after time, and especially after coming across channels like you guys, that marriage over time really betas your ass. It really does. And as much as you might try to believe that not to be the case, it does. And when I finally looked around and just realized that I was a soft guy, that I was a pudgy guy, that I was a guy that I was turning into the guy that the feminists out there wanted to create.
Right.
And when I began to realize that, I thought, I went to YouTube to find some channels. I found yours and a few others. And I realized these are the guys that are going to help me revitalize myself. They're going to help me get my alpha back, and give me somebody that my wife is more interested in following again. Get her back as well. I don't want to become the alpha guy to, blow up my marriage and, do this other kind of ridiculous stuff. I want to get it back to what it used to be. And one of the issues I see is, I don't know if your channels are, and I don't know if any other callers would back me up on this, I don't know if your channels are being listened to by married guys, in my case, longtime married guys, but to be quite honest, they should be.
Yeah.
So
we have plenty of married guys listening.
A message for me, as for any single guy out there.
You want me to go first on this, Noah, or would you like to go first, sir?
I'll go first.
Okay, go after you, sir.
The key. Marriage makes you more of who you are. If you're alpha, marriage makes you more alpha. If you're beta, it makes you more beta. It accentuates you as a man in whatever you are. And you're going to find out who you are when you get married. Because if you don't, your wife will pick and shit test you until you become whoever you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. Look at that as a good thing. Your wife shit tested you. You realized that you were shifting into a beta mindset, and now you're coming looking for a solution. Your marriage, you know who you were. You didn't know before.
I got to back that up 1,000%. I think Noah's hitting the nail on the head with this. And I'll add that You know, your experience with it, if that's what you've been through, I hear you, man. Like, you know, there are thousands of men like you who would echo what you said, but I think Noah's right. And on top of that, marriage only has the potential to do that to you through the method that Noah's talking about. A lot of men, they're married for a long time and they're fun. They're still very alpha, very masculine, and all that. So it's not just this shit show that these horror stories you read on the internet. There's plenty of them. Dead bedrooms on Reddit is a really good example of that, and beyond. I mean, infidelity, all kinds of stuff. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's very possible to have a long-term, positive, healthy relationship where you're complete, keep the frame, lead your family, lead your relationship, and lead your marriage, and that's it. And your woman's very happy because of that, because you're a fucking leader like you should be.
Right. Well, let me just say something real quick. Sir, I've been married 20 years, so what you're saying is horseshit. Okay, because the truth of the matter is rule number one: you allow a woman to do what she's going to do what you allow her to do.
That's right.
The fact that you're sitting around saying you're making all of the excuses that because you're in married for 20 years you become a beta. That's your choice that you decide to make, sir. Nobody told you to make that decision. But I ask you the question: when's the last time you sent your wife a email asking her how her pussy was? When's the last time when she walked through the door you touched her ass? When's the last time when she took a shower, you jumped in the shower with her? When's the last time you did something for her without her having to tell you to do something? Like I say, I've been in 20 years and I ain't no bitch. I'm good. I don't have no problems with my woman. And I hope you can tell I am a man. So what you're saying is, I don't want you to scare people. You just need to learn more about you and don't feel like that's the norm for every guy. We always say you don't have to get married because you have people on here who are not married, but you do have people who are on here who are married. So I'm saying to you is it's not the fact that your marriage is the dull. It's the fact you have made it dull. It's on you, sir. So you need to learn what you need to do to be more of a man in your woman's eyes, so she'll rip your clothes off every day and smash and do all the things y'all were doing when y'all were teenagers, brothers. But Noah was absolutely right on what he was saying.
Yeah. Listen, I co-sign on that with Noah 100%. Marriage, there are a few things in this world that reveal. A lot of people say adversity builds character. No, adversity reveals character, right? Marriage and a long-term relationship, that really lets you know whether you're an alpha. And I try not to use the word alpha male, but it's shorthand for just being a traditionally masculine man who knows how to handle women. But anybody can be Captain fucking Mr. Alpha male when there aren't any feelings involved, right? It's easy to not let a woman get away with something when you feel nothing for her. You don't give a shit. You're just trying to fuck her. You got 6 other girls. Who gives a shit? But you actually feel something for the woman. If you're actually married to the woman, if you love the woman, if you're living with the woman, if there are feelings involved, that's when your true characteristics come out. Are you still going to demand her best, even though she lives with you? Are you still going to tell her no, even though you are married to her? Can you remain traditionally masculine? Can you remain the head of your household when you are married or in a relationship? A lot of guys can sleep with a lot of women. That doesn't make them alpha. Being a red pill guy and sleeping with women, that doesn't make you red pill. You can be a red pillar. You will only know how red pill you are. A lot of guys think, man, okay, so I'm sleeping with all these girls. I wonder how red pill I am. I wonder how alpha I am. Get into a long-term relationship and you will quickly figure out whether or not you are alpha or not. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah, it's easy to run game on women who don't know your weak spots.
Yes.
But run a game on a woman that knows you inside and out, that takes skill.
You know it. No, listen, dude.
Yeah, marriage is the biggest shit test of all. Sorry.
No. Listen, I totally agree with that, man. Noah hit that. He hit the nail on the head.
There was a question earlier you had up to Donovan about cursing, and obviously on the show, like we curse a lot, especially me. At the convention, you'll probably see a lot less of that. Public speaking tends to tone that down.
Yeah,
I think just due to the nature of what it is. I'll probably still curse, a bit. We'll see. I might tone it down on purpose because I need to reach a younger female audience, like Gen Z, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. That's who I want to influence to avoid the feminist, hellscape. So you'll see that. But guys like me and Hunter will still probably drop some F-bombs. That's how men talk. It's part of being masculine. Women should generally not curse. It's not attractive.
No.
Unless you're like a hooker. I mean, hey, whatever.
Whatever.
But unless you're not living that life, you should avoid.
I think for the last 3 weeks, I don't allow Devin to swear. like something, I don't know, maybe it was the Richard Cooper doppelganger that we had on a few weeks back.
Oh, Phil.
He didn't mention, was that Rich Cooper? And I remember he was on, and because I learned a lot from that guy, and he said, listen, swearing is not feminine. I was like, you know what? It's not. When Devin swears or when she cusses a lot, even her tone of voice, when she's being feminine, she doesn't swear, right? But when she swears, she's got this masculine energy. So I'm like, yo, watch your fucking mouth, man. And she never says, well, Donovan, you swear? No, of course not. I got tattoos. Listen, I got tattoos. I mean, you can have them.
Yeah, that's right. The only time women should swear is in the bedroom, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Men have the option. Like if you're hardcore Christian and all that, you have a faith that prevents you from swearing, you should follow your ideology, your philosophy that guides your life. Go ahead. Masculinity doesn't force you to curse. It's just an option of being bold and provocative in public and speaking like however you want, and not caring so much about social norms and trying to fit in. Women need to be feminine, and with the exception of toxic feminism, they need to fit into family structures and social structures like that, the communities. Yeah, and swearing like a sailor is not part of being feminine under any fucking circumstance.
No.
Just like getting covered in tattoos is weird.
Even Christian women swear when they're getting dicked down by the right man. State of Might with the $5 super chat says, to the previous 215 caller, men have to control life around them at all times and not let life control them. Easier said than done, but it still absolutely has to be done, especially when you're given sort of faulty tools. Let us go back to the phone lines. Area code 906. You're on live at the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan, good to talk to you again, man.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah. Noah, you said you guys aren't political with the 22 and the 21. Well, they are political.
Yeah.
They're pushing that Marxism bullshit. Feminism is Marxism. It's just like socialism, communism, Nazism, fascism, all that bullshit. It's all the same shit.
Right.
So while you're fighting them without using politics, they are using politics. It's all political for them. Read Saul Alinsky's shit, right? All of his rules, all of his bullshit. I mean, that's what you're up against. That's why they're training these kids in school from kindergarten on to be feminists and all this other shit, because what you learn between the age of when you can start talking and to about 11 to 13, that's like set in stone.
Right.
You have a very hard time getting rid of that shit once they've put it in there. That's why indoctrination happens with the kids instead of adults, because, you tell one of us women are wonderful, we're going to be like, fuck you. We know.
Caller, I'm not saying we're afraid to confront the idea of politics and examine it. I don't have an issue with that. I've probably been leading the charge on that for a while, with the exception of the men's rights people who do that like all day, every day. What I'm saying is Make Women Great Again is not a political rally. It's not a Trump rally. It has no affiliation with what they're doing. The name, the meme or whatever, the slogan is just similar. So there's no talks at the conference, to my knowledge, that are just going to preach to women about what to believe politically. But all the speakers, I think, are aware that feminism is very politically active, and that is a problem that one day has to be dealt with. In the meantime, we're dealing with relationships and family and culture and masculinity and femininity, which are deeper issues that give, politics, they say, lives downstream from culture, and I believe that to the bone. So we're dealing with things that are even more important, that in spite of how weaponized, feminism has turned the courts against us and stuff, that has to get dealt with someday. But right now, they control the reins of power there, very, very much so. And that's real. Unless you have $1 billion sitting around, I don't know how the fuck you're going to change that.
Shit, that's a good point.
Yeah. I just want to say to the caller, what I don't understand, and hope you can help me understand, help me overstand, not understand, but overstand. And excuse my French, I don't give a fuck how political she is. When she's in front of me, if she ain't riding on what I feel, I'm throwing her back in the water. She can feel whatever she wants to feel with whoever she wants to feel. And like Anthony said, it's out there. It's out there. It's running rapid. Absolutely. But I think these women are coming to the 22 convention to hear men talk. It's not for us to sit in a bunch of chairs on the stage and we listen to them whine. No, it's not like that. They want to, in order for them to learn, like Anthony's saying, in order for them to learn how to be better women for you men, they need to hear it from men first. So whatever they think, that's not going to come in, and we're going to be sitting there listening to them whining and have cuddle parties and stuff. Not having that. We're going to tell them and explain to them why they need, like Anthony's saying, they need to calm themselves down and be more feminine. So political, that's not even going to be happening, in my opinion, Anthony. I can't see it happening.
Yeah, and I have no interest either in dictating to people what they believe politically.
Right.
I'm much more interested in the cultural relationship elements, which again I think are much deeper. Men and women have been fucking and getting along and fighting since literally the dawn of our species.
Yes.
It predates civilization and fire and the wheel. Like, these are much deeper issues that have, and that's why they're so complex. That's why we can talk endlessly about these issues. And men have been talking about this romance and intimacy and love and women forever. And we'll keep doing it forever as long as we're fucking Homo sapiens. So yeah, it is what it is, man.
All right, so we're gonna get the ladies on the show here. So Lorna from London says, "I've had women bully me because I respect men. I'm beginning to notice many young women have low mental standards, almost bordering on retardation." This just goes to what you said earlier. When women actually voice out loud that they respect and love men, and if Lorna from London, I assume she lives in London. Dude, that's one of the feminism headquarters. So Homemaker Calling says, I think we need to, she asked us if we could tone down the language. She says, I think we need to talk to women like ladies. No cursing, but I guess if I want them around no cursing, it's better to get them in a Christian group. Thanks for the response. Homemaker Calling, I stand corrected. Here's the thing. Christian groups are not good for young women. Okay? At least the Christian groups now, because Christianity is as infiltrated by feminism as any other group in America. So I get it. If you want a lady to act like a lady, you have to treat her like a lady. So I get it. So if you want a woman to, if you want to reach younger women, just like Anthony said, then I guess it stands to reason, I suppose, we could kind of try to tone down the swearing. But let's go on. Let us go on to more pressing matters. So I've got Maddie back on the line.
There's a real quick counter to that too, though. Women should expect men to be masculine and to act masculine, and in some cases, that's going to include cursing. That's part of the difference between men and women. It is what it is.
I just failed the shit test. Did you hear that, guys? I just failed the shit test on the air. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. The way men act are not the way women are supposed to act, right? The more masculine you act, the more feminine women become, right? Mm-hmm. So a woman is not going to be feminine if you tone down your masculinity. And part of masculinity is swearing sometimes. So, yeah, listen, I rescind what I said, Homemaker Calling. If you've got Christian sisters watching, they're going to have to understand that the truth is often unpretty and unfiltered. Don't pay attention to the cuss words. Pay attention to the message. That's all there is to it. Good stuff there. So see, even the great Donovan Sharp can fail a shit test every once in a while. I figure it's because she was an older lady. She wasn't really a troll, but whatever. All right, so I've got Maddie back on the line, and I guess she's done working on her business. Let us hope that round 2 goes a little bit further. Now, Maddie, before I bring you on, I'm not going to hurl any insults at you. I'm going to give you the floor. If something tells me I'm going to regret this. But I could be wrong. Maddie, I've got you back on the line. What say you?
Hi, I just have like a few questions. So my first one is, what is your stance on women who are not attracted to men?
You want to know what my stance is on women that are not attracted to men?
Like what?
Oh, no. Is that what you're asking?
Y'all as a collective. Yeah, like y'all as a collective group, because
I don't. Hang on. Hold on. Hang on. I don't have an opinion on women that are not attracted to men. I just don't have an opinion on that. I just don't. That's just all.
My opinion is I remain skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, dude, all chicks prefer dick, right? Like that's kind of what it comes down to.
But at the end of the day, too, though, if you're legitimately lesbian, let's just assume that's true, or you know one. Like, I don't really care. Like, we don't have it. We have gay speakers speak. Let me be clear. We have a gay speaker speak of the 21 Convention, Jack Donovan.
Yeah.
And nobody fucking cares, and it's not an issue.
I think, listen, I could be wrong, Maddie, but I think your question was an attempt to try to make us out to be homophobes. But I digress. Question number 2, please.
Actually, let me respond to that. That is not what I was saying. And because you guys have, like, what you're saying implies that women rely on men. So I just wanted your stance on that. Because what does women relying on men have to do with a woman's sexual attraction to men? Because we have women out here with money. We don't really need
We have women out here that don't need men financially, yet they are still sexually attracted to them. So a woman being sexually attracted to a man and needing men, as far as your context is concerned, that is mutually exclusive.
Let me add in here, 100% of women who are born biologically women have a vagina that is made for a penis. Like, the idea that it's now, homosexuality does occur in nature in animals, but it's like a really low percent. So this is a whole fucking crapshoot, a rabbit hole we can get down. But the idea that you're not attracted to men when you're born to take a dick is a very strange idea.
Well, Maddie, baby girl. Look, this is your boy Steve. What's up, girl? Let me tell you something, girl. The problem is that that's a true statement. I understand that you're not attracted to the girl that you are hanging out with. You're not attracted to that guy being your shoulder to cry on. You're not attracted to that guy who's your chauffeur and the guy that buys you dinners and drinks. That's all you have. So the problem is you got to get rid of the grassy lines and come across the street over here, and you will get all the attraction you need, baby girl.
How many men have you slept with, Maddie?
None, because I'm not attracted to
How
them.
old
So
are you?
why would I-
No, hold on. No, listen, hold on. How old are you?
I'm 16.
So you're 16, but you have a business, right?
Oh my!
You're 16 years old. You have a business, right? Like that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna pretend to be 16 years old. Is that what this is?
Yeah, I take that back. You're too young. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Dude, Maddie's.
I'm happy that you're a virgin. That's good
Yeah.
for you. Keep it as long as you can and marry the first guy you sleep
Maddie,
with.
hold on.
Like, that's the best advice I can give you.
Hang on. I got one. Listen, I got a question to ask you. No, just real quick. I'll let you ask your question, but I got a question for you. It's a 2-part question. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? How tall are you and how much do you weigh?
Why?
Oh, there
Wait, should we even have this woman on the line at this point? Who's a minor? I think we should just hang up the phone at this point.
Steve, I want to know because your sexual market value has a lot to do with your sexual options. Okay, I don't believe you're 16 years old.
You know what?
Oh, here we
Wait,
go.
can I please?
Go ahead.
You know what? I'm 5'6". Listen, I'm 5'6". I weigh 135.
Okay, whoa, check this out, sweetie.
And you have a business.
Baby girl, listen, you don't tell me to listen, right? Like that's how this works. Answer the question. You said you're 5'6", 135 pounds. Is that about right? 5'6", 135? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so go on with your question. This is a shit show. Go ahead, Maddie. Ask your question. I'm running out of patience. Let's go. We got other callers.
All right. Well, I'm just asking, guys actually hit on me, almost every single day, and that doesn't make me any more attracted to them. Anyway, my next question was, how come a woman cannot have debt? Lots of debt comes from college. So do you not want women to be educated, or what's your stance on that?
Oh, that's great. What are you?
Oh, let me get this. Let me get this.
I'll let you. What are you worried about college for? You're only 16 years old, right? Like, come on. Of course she's more than 16. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, so the life script women are fed today is completely backwards. It is the exact opposite of what they should do. Peak fertility for women is about 21, 22 years old. You should be having children in your late teens and early 20s if rationally and what makes sense biologically. It's common sense with respect to nature and biology to have children as early as you can. You can have an education and a career. You can begin that at any point in your life. You can do that at 35, at 45, and beyond. Doing that and getting into a bunch of non-dischargeable student loan debt when you're 19, 21, and all this stuff with respect to biology and in the narrow window your fertility exists on is delusional. And this is what women are fed today is normal. It's not normal. It makes no sense. At the most basic level of common sense, it makes no sense to go to school when you're really young and do all that. You should probably go to school later if it's a good idea. And I think college is probably a bad idea in a lot of cases.
Let me add to this, Maddie. I'm in a long-term relationship with a woman right now. She happens to be very intelligent, so much so that she built my website. She built a server for me. This happens to be what she does for a living. Okay. I care for her very much, and her intelligence, I suppose, and her education level adds to my life. So when you ask the question, do you not want your woman to be educated? Well, I think you're asking the wrong question. We don't want our women to be dumbasses. But when you say educated, what you're talking about is going to school for a useless degree. The only thing women learn how to do when they go off to a 4-year college is to sleep around. So if by educated, you mean go to a 4-year school and sleep around and be used by hordes of men before the age of 30 and then settle down at that point, we can barely have kids, then no, I don't want my woman.
Even putting all the garbage they learn in school aside and the other crap, riding the Tindercock and all this stuff, what Maddie's talking about is what feminism, young girls have been lied to, that they should go to school during the most beautiful, fertile, healthy years of their lives when naturally, biologically speaking, is the exact right time for them to be having children. And they're going to waste that getting digged up on Tinder and getting a degree in communism, a PhD in communism or something. Like getting into a bunch of debt that they can't even get out of. It's crazy.
I think Maddie, that's the first problem is Maddie's lying about her age. Maddie, let's just be honest. You're not 16 because 16-year-olds shouldn't be listening to things like this. Right. But please understand this from Uncle Dean.
16.
I'm sorry?
You want my birth certificate?
No.
Well, look, kid. All right, look, kid. Yeah, look, SpongeBob is coming on in a few minutes. You can go watch that after I'm done talking to you. I'm just saying to you, kid, is this. You just remember this from Uncle Dean. As you get older, you have no value until a man places value on you.
Right.
And I don't care how many people out there tell you and how many times your daddy and your mama tell you special. You ain't special to a man until he deems you special. So as long as you take that and go ahead through your Beverly Hills 90210 phases and stuff that you go through life and through college, through all those guys that you're gonna be going through. Just remember, at the end of the day, a man doesn't like coochie that looks like chewed up meat. So just remember that, young girl.
No, what you got?
I've had multiple women in their late 20s contact me for coaching with high 5-digit student loan debt, crying to me for hours because they can't afford to have children.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be able to afford to have children, and I'm helping them try to figure it out. And how can you budget? How can you pay it off quicker? And they can't have kids till they're 35, 40 years old because that's when the debt will be paid off.
Yep.
Maddie,
it's much more urgent and important for women to have children younger. Like that's what makes sense. And this college crap is stupid to do young.
I don't want women to go through that don't have to. It is terrible. I for like 20 years, young girls are indoctrinated that the career is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they take them and they talk to successful career people and they tell them how great that is. Women should be going and talking to these young women that want to have kids and can't afford it.
Yep.
That's what they should be talking to get a proper balanced view of the situation. It's terrible for those women.
Yeah, motherhood's more important. Let me just flat out, as a woman, from the vast majority of women, 80, 90%, motherhood is a lot more important, a lot more urgent, a lot more fulfilling than any career you could ever hope to have. Sorry, not sorry. Like that's what is going to make you happy, is to have a lot of children.
No,
unless you're the next Ayn Rand or something like that, you need to focus on getting not wifed up and knocked up.
All right, so Maddie, I have a question for you. One last question. What kind of business do you run, Ando?
Well, can I ask my question?
Well, no, you have to answer, sweetie. Sweetie, well, sweetie, it doesn't work that way. Just because you ask for it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I will answer your question after you answer mine. Capiche?
Okay.
All right. What kind of business do you run?
I'm starting up a makeup business.
Starting up a makeup business, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You can ask your question.
All right. So I actually have a few from what you said.
You know what? I'm tired of listening. I'm done. Yeah, it's interesting. Here's a few things we learned about Maddie. Number one, Maddie is not 16 years old, right? Because 16-year-old girls do not watch this show. There's no way this comes up in her search suggestions. Number two, we know she's not 16 because she offered to show you her birth certificate. When you call a girl out on her lies and she knows she's caught, they'll tell you anything they have to get you. I totally believe me. I'll show you my birth certificate. Maddie, how in the world were you going to get us your birth certificate, sweetie? Like, come on with that. Girls will swear on their grandmother's lives that they didn't cheat on you. That's when you know that they, of course, cheated on you. Number three, Maddie is not 5'6", 135 pounds. Maddie might be 5'6", but she weighs a lot more than 135. You want to know how I know? Because I asked her how much she weighed. I said, what is your height and weight? And she hesitated and said, why? You want to know why she asked why? Because Maddie's probably closer to 5'5", 190, right? And I said all that to say this. Maddie thinks that she's not attracted to other men because men are not attracted to her. right? Like, this is what happens. This is actually what black women go through. A lot of black women turn lesbian. Well, forget this. I like women. No, you don't like women. Not enough men like you. So 16-year-old Maddie wants us to believe that she's not sexually attracted to men, when indeed it's just the men who are not sexually attracted to her because she's 5'5", 190, give or take. That was funny. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. 2 more phone calls. Area code 216. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
I wanted to ask, what you guys think about the institutions doubling and tripling down on their Marxism as far as transgender ideology, interracial relationships, open borders? I mean, you guys just talk about one aspect of feminism, but this tube is goes pretty deep.
Okay, well, 1 second. So you said transgenderism and interracial relationships. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
that is an agenda as well.
Okay, all right.
No.
So you that's fine. Like, if that's what he wants to think, that's what he wants to think. Listen, I'm not, like, obviously I am in an interracial relationship, but I understand why there are people who are against interracial relationships. So let me ask you a question. Why do you think things like interracial relationships are part of Marxism? I don't really, and again, I'm trying to learn from you. Like, I need to understand why those are in the same conversation, because I'm a man, I'm a biological male, and my girlfriend, who happens to be white, is a biological woman. So I'm not really sure what is to be gained by pushing the interracial relationship agenda.
Well, I say it's a Marxist agenda because it used to be against the law in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's promoted in mainstream movies and television shows.
Wait a minute, sir. Agenda. Real quick, hold on. Are you black?
Wait, yeah.
Hold on. Are you black?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you against, hold on, are you against black men dating white women? Is that what this is?
No, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying
you?
It's an agenda being promoted by the mainstream media.
There's no, well, hold on. Now you and I, listen, I agree that there are agendas being promoted by the mainstream media, right? But I want you to I can't speak for anybody else. I can't speak for anybody else. I can't speak for you. But the reason why I date my girlfriend is because I'm physically and sexually attracted to her. It doesn't really have anything to do with the fact that she's white, right? My romantic decisions are not influenced by television and movies. As a matter of fact, and I said this on my show the other day, as black men, black women, they have the right of first refusal. Our first crushes as black people, black boys, are with black women. So I guess maybe you're somehow suggesting that the reason why I'm dating a white girl is because television and movies told me to. Is that what you're saying?
No, not you in particular. I'm just saying in general, this is an agenda promoted by the mainstream media, just like someone being transgender. They're putting it in the school system. They got library hour for children to go to book readings by people that are transgender.
Okay, hold on real quick. No, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you on the transgender stuff, but that doesn't have anything to do, hold on, caller. That doesn't have anything to do with, like, if you want to talk about interracial relationships, we can do that. But that doesn't have anything to do with the transgender. If you want to talk about that as a separate topic, I got no problem with that. If you're for it or against it, we can talk about that. But that doesn't have anything to do with transgenderism. I'm failing to see the connection there.
It's all related. It's all a part of Marxism, like the caller said that before.
Do you go outside? Or do you ever go outside and meet regular, like, human women, or do you just stay at home and watch the news tell you how to feel and act and think? Because I like Donovan. No, let's be honest. You talk about interracial relationships. Now that's I hate like Donovan. I love the white women. I always say where the white women at. You know, that's my little moniker. But what I'm asking you is, what does it have to do with you not knowing how you are as a man? What does it have to do with you, sir?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about the point of it being an agenda promoted by the mainstream media by It's Marxism. It's a form of Marxism. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
There's
no,
other
hey, you want
aspects
to call?
than just
Actually,
feminism.
listen. Check this out. And for whatever reason, my chat isn't working. It's failed to work. I actually agree with what the caller is saying. Right. As a matter of fact, I'll actually go you one further. Yes, transgenderism is promoted by the mainstream media. Interracial relationships are definitely promoted by the mainstream media. But guess what, caller? They're not promoting interracial relationships between black men and white women. Oh, no. They're promoting interracial marriages between black women and white men. That's where you see more black women and white men being married or in relationships on TV than in actual real life. Listen, if you want to talk about Marxism, that's absolutely where it's at. Now, what do you think about that?
You're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I can add to this a bit. The tranny stuff is an attack on masculinity, as I would see it. And
I don't know what that has to do with interracial relationships, but okay. I mean, it is
like wildly separate issues.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Abortion as well. They're trying to normalize abortion. Tell these girls, hey, it's normal to kill your child. Now they have postpartum abortion. You can kill your child after it's born.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of it is a form of Marxism. Upside down as much as possible.
But what's your point? I'm sorry, maybe I'm being ignorant here. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but what is your point though? I'm just trying to. You're saying all these things, but what is your point?
My point I was just trying to make that, this tooth is a lot longer. The iceberg is bigger, than just feminism. It's on every aspect of society, the court system, the public school system.
I would disagree with this because I think feminism runs very, very deep, and a lot of people want to wrap it up in Marxism. They go, "Oh, it's just like Marxism and all this stuff." I'm not convinced of that, and what I am convinced of is that strong masculine men, not always, but typically, they're the ones who are resilient against this kind of crap, and it's masculinity being look at America. The founding of America, the greatest country in the world and the freest that the world has ever seen, a true experiment in individual human freedom. It was built by men. It was founded by men. It was a very masculine thing to tell the king to go fuck himself and declare secession and independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. It took balls of fucking steel for these men to commit treason and nearly got killed.
But guess what? We got a population of men that's been indoctrinated by feminism, and you're going to put that up against the institutions, they're going to win every time. They've been teaching our boys to be feminine.
Well, this is exactly why we're here, caller.
I think feminism was what opens the door to these other toxic ideologies, not the other way around. And everyone likes to blame Marxism, leftism, and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's really feminine. Right. That's feminine right there. What I'm saying, listen, all that stuff is out there, young man. You're right. But what stories are you believing? And what does it have to do with you? It's out there. Yes, we know it's out there. We've been telling you it's out there. But if all you're doing is just spewing what somebody is telling you, then you connected to the hive yourself. What is the solution? You're talking problems, right? But I don't hear one solution. All I hear is problem.
Can you imagine if the founding fathers said, "Oh yeah, there's so much pro-British propaganda in the colony. There's no way that we're going to have a successful revolution. We might as well just bend over and take it until the king is done." No, they said, "Hey, we die. Nobody's going to die here because we went to 22."
I want to make sure because I don't know. I think we may have misread the caller. Or caller, are you suggesting that we give up because the institution is going to win every time, or are you just making an observation?
No.
Okay. All right.
I support you guys' movement.
Okay,
I want to join in. I think everything you're doing is beautiful.
Gotcha.
I think everything you're doing is beautiful.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying.
You're just making an observation that there is an agenda.
No, I'm just making an observation. The establishment is very strong.
Sure.
We're gonna have to attack every aspect of society.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
I want to make one last comment.
Sure. Well, I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you believe in interracial relationships?
No, I think it's wrong.
Okay, so it's interesting. No, hold on. It's interesting. Yeah, but listen, he's free to have his views. If he thinks it's wrong, he thinks it's wrong. That's perfectly fine. But isn't it interesting that if there is something that is widespread that gets national attention, if there's something that they don't agree with, they automatically call it Marxism, right? Like, it's interesting. And the reason I said that is because I don't see interracial marriage, quote unquote, propaganda as Marxism. I see feminism as Marxism. I see the transgender. I see the whole gay and lesbian thing being pushed as Marxism. I've never really seen it that way in terms of interracial relationships. I will agree with you that interracial relationships are definitely being promoted. So if you're against interracial relationships, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I would just be very careful about calling something like that cultural Marxism just because you disagree with it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Donovan.
Okay, well, the homosexuals.
No, you're not going to compare. Oh, damn it.
This is just feminine. I'm sorry. It's just too much feminine energy with this guy. I need to get him some Mad Maxi pads. This is crazy to me.
Listen, I agree with hold on. I agree with what he's saying. He's right. There is definitely an agenda, but it's always interesting that whatever somebody, like if somebody is against drinking, right? They're like, like a drunk driver killed my brother. Oh, this is cultural Marxism. There's alcohol and liquor commercials all over the place. Or if somebody's trying to fight, a feminists call the red pill movement Marxism. They're trying to objectify women. I don't agree with objectifying women. That's cultural Marxism. The guy is against interracial relationships. I disagree with his stance, but listen, he's a red-blooded American. He is free to have freedom of expression, and I'm free to disagree. But again, be very careful about calling something cultural Marxism just because you disagree with it. I can say Legos are part of cultural Marxism because in the past when I've stepped on them, it
hurt your feet.
Words, right? Like that's all.
I think it become what you're saying is, and I agree, is it can become a crutch for anything that they don't approve of or disagree with, and that's not good.
And the interracial, and I agree. Listen, I agree with him. Interracial relationships are definitely being pushed by there is an agenda, right? Because I think that's a part of that's a part of an overlying agenda. But just like you said, you can't, like, it's not cultural Marxism. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean you just put it under the umbrella. If the guy is against interracial relationships, he should have just called and said, listen, I don't agree with interracial relationships, and I'm going to tell you why. But he tried to marry it with transgenderism, homophobia, gays and lesbians. Interracial relationships, those are heterosexual relationships. You're not going to put heterosexual relationships in with, transphobia or homophobia. It doesn't work that way. Those are two mutually exclusive topics. If he disagrees, he disagrees. That's fine. He can do that. I got one last caller here, guys. Let's go to area code 817. Area code 817, you're on live with the Red Man Group. You're the last caller. You go ahead.
Gotcha, guys. Hi, it's a privilege to be on the show.
Sure.
And I love what you guys are doing. I have kind of like a personal question, and I don't really know where to take it, or how to find the answer for myself. So I thought maybe you guys could give me some clarity on it.
Let's do it.
I'm not afraid to. What I want to try to the question I'm trying to get answered is it okay to not actually care about women? Like, because I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm being greeted by people around me who've made it work. They've made the marriage thing work. They've had relationships work. But what the highlights of it, what they've gotten from it, is not appealing to me.
Okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, listen, if you don't no, I totally agree, man. If you feel like there's nothing women can offer to your life that is beneficial to you, yeah. I mean, listen, I don't, what's something I don't care about? I don't care about garbage dumpsters, right? I don't care about them. So I don't really, I mean, of course I use them all the time. I'm just thinking of an example, but yeah, if there's no use for something in your life, then that's perfectly fine. But let me ask you something, caller. Let me ask you something. Are you sexually attracted to women?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and have you ever had sex with a woman?
Yeah, plenty.
Okay,
like that's the other part I was going to add to this, is that I started off very blue pill, kind of like thinking women could do no wrong, and then I got fucked over, and then it made me more red pill, and I started fucking them over. But now I'm at the point where like even they can start to see it, that I'm not there. I don't care about it. So the sex part of it is not even an issue. I'm very attracted to women.
How old are you?
I'm not attracted to what they have to offer.
Sure. Okay. Well, listen, that's the red pill. No, listen, that's the red pill in a nutshell, right? Like, you want to fuck women, but you don't want all the bullshit that comes along with actually no, I totally agree. If you want to just fuck women and stay out of relationships, that's fine. You can say that you don't care about women okay, you can say that, but listen, just characterize it like this. Listen, I fuck women. I just don't get into relationships with them. That doesn't mean you don't care about them, but of course you care very much about them when you're trying to fuck them. But after you bust the nut, you don't really care about them that much. I understand where you're coming from there.
I think he cares about them, Donovan, and he's lying to us because he's asking the question, is it okay not to care about women? So that's telling me he cares about women. Yeah, let's keep it all the way real, man. You're talking to I'm not boo-boo the fool. I listen. You care about women, but you want us to validate you on why you shouldn't. The problem is you don't know who you are in your name. You don't know what you are, and you came from what is it? A pink, whatever pill you came from, whatever place you came from. You're still in the same place. Just because you're smashing women, you still feel the same way, man. You're putting as long as you put your emotions in this game, then that's the problem because you have no sense of self and no foundation of self.
Hold on. I'm gonna play good cop. Caller, because caller, I'm on your side, caller. I'm gonna try to protect you from Big Bad Steve. I think I think you're at a point, and I think I was at this point a while back too. I got to the point to where I didn't want to be so concerned with getting laid, and I think that's where you're at. You're like, is it okay to not care about women? But you do. Like, we all care about women. That's why we're on this panel. This is why you called the show, right? So I think what you're searching for is you want to be able to sort of divorce, like you want that superpower that really just doesn't give a shit about women other than the sex they provide. That doesn't mean you don't care about women, but by the same token, it's almost like you're wishing that you could become independent of your sexual desire. Because as long as you got a cock and balls, you're going to care about women on some level. Am I wrong on that? Like, how's my aim on that?
No, you're not wrong. And to his point, you're correct. Like, there's no part of me that says like, okay, I have to hate women. I do still care. Where the issue I think lies is in the fact that I can't get over the fact that, like, while I'm attracted to women, I don't see there being a point in the attraction. There's you had some callers on who were married for years and years and years, but their lives doesn't. I mean, depending on how they choose to operate.
Hang on a second. I think you're outthinking the room here. Here's the reason why men are sexually attracted to women and vice versa. It's the continuation of the species, right? Nothing else biologically matters. Male and female species are here to reproduce and create more of the species. All of the other stuff that we talk about, that's all just noise, right? So, okay, so you like to fuck women. The reason why you said, well, there's no point in it. Yes, there is a point. The point is reproduction. Men say all the time, why can I not quit fucking these broads? Reproduction. It is your biological imperative to fuck as many women as humanly possible. It's the same with women. Why do I keep fucking these bad boys? I can't figure it out. I don't want to fuck them, but I do. It's biological. You are attracted to that kind of masculinity. You can try not to be, but you're always gonna be. I'll give you the last word.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I guess he said okay. Man,
it's very common too that men get to a point where what they were getting out of their relationships with women that weren't very deep no longer satisfies them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily that it's the sex alone is no longer worth it. He needs sex plus a relationship. That might make it worth it again for him. Maybe.
Yeah. I know where he's at. And it was weird, man, because I dated, she was like third or fourth stripper I dated, and she cheated on me. And I was like, dude, I can't be caring about these women anymore, but I want to fuck these women. Like, what the fuck? You cannot divorce your sexual desire from your existence. I mean, short of getting castrated, you're always going to want to fuck women. But the real red pill is, how can you control yourself around women you want to fuck? That's what the red pill is about. Can you control yourself around these women? If you're in a relationship with a woman, can you still remain red pill? Therein lies the issue. Hell of a show, guys. Let's go around the room and do our parting shots here. Noah, you lead us off, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely.
Check me out on my website, smv4k.com. And, we don't have to all agree with each other, but we all agree that feminism sucks and masculinity is the future. And I think that's what's important, is focusing on what we agree about.
Yep.
Steve, someone in the comments just called you a chump. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't think the word chump was an insult. I thought if this was maybe like 1986 or something like that. What is your response?
Excuse me, sir. I'm gonna show you. Hey, Ryan. When you get messages from my clients from women like this, sir.
Thank you. Now, please fuck me, because I'm so fucking horny. I can't stand it. I really want you inside me so bad.
Now, Ryan, when you get messages like that, come call me, dog, because you couldn't even touch a pinky on my finger, son. So I'm sorry, I'm a chump and I'm an idiot. And they should
I want to listen. If you're getting messages like that, I want to be a chump.
But yeah, hey, until you get on my side of the street, you can say whatever you want. But for all those everybody else, we appreciate all you guys for listening. Again, guys, y'all want to mess with your boy the Dean, the Man Mindset. Go to themanmindset.com. You'll hear all the receipts, Ryan. Maybe you need to go over there so I can help you get some pussy, dog. Don't get mad at me.
I think he admires you. Ace in Space with the $2 super chat before we get to Anthony says, no matter what ideology, biology is still biology. Totally agree with that. Anthony, any last words, my friend?
Absolutely. I got some exciting announcements. So number one, I'll be doing a full response video to my interview with Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain, and Janice Fimengo was on there too. We finally got a good copy of the full interview, which is about 20 minutes long. On YouTube, you'll find an 8-minute version if you type "Make America Great" or "Make Women Great Again" Piers Morgan. It should pull right up. But I have the full one now, the 20-minute. I'm gonna do a response video to that. It's pretty interesting. So that'll be coming out on 21 Studios pretty soon. And on top of that, I'll be interviewing Janice Fimengo pretty soon, maybe next week on the Redman Group. We'll bring her on. Also, on top of that, you have about 24 hours, about 36 hours left to save 50%, half off on your ticket to the 21 Convention Second Patriarch Edition, coming to Orlando, Florida this April 30th to May 3rd. Same thing for 22 Convention, same weekend. You can save 50% on the 22 tickets. If you have a wife or sister or girlfriend that wants to go, you need her to get trained up. We'll train her up. We'll take good care of her, make her great again. Yeah, so those tickets are both half off for another 36 hours. You can go to the21convention.org or probably look in the description for a link, affiliate link or whatever from the Redman Group or Donovan and wherever else the video is hosted, probably 21 Studios. But anyway, anytime you want to get tickets to a 21 event, go to the21convention.org or 22convention.com for the women's one. Finally, we will have tickets on sale soon and a full announcement, sales page and all that for the 21 Convention 2020 of Krakow, Poland. Yeah. Krakow, Poland, however you say that. So that's coming up pretty soon. And then after the Poland tickets launch, we'll also launch tickets to the main event of the year, the world event in Orlando, Florida for the 21 Convention 2020 of Orlando, Florida. That will be the 21st edition of the 21 Convention, our flagship event of the year, not just in Europe, but in America. So lots of tickets coming out soon. In the meantime, you got about 36 hours left to save half off and bring a friend free to Patriarch for Fathers and Fatherhood or to the women's event, ending Sunday night, midnight. That's it.
I've come up with a new hashtag for the 22 Convention. 22 Convention, hashtag enrich yo bitch. So I'm Donovan Sharp, guys. I just launched my very own platform, my own streaming platform. I host my own videos. It's called Sharp Stream. I'm still gonna do videos on YouTube and all that other kind of stuff, but my really, really hard-hitting content is going to be streamed directly to Sharp Stream. I'm actually going to start putting out more blog posts and more videos on my website, donovansharp.com. So guys, be sure to go and check that out. Other than that, guys, we thank all of our super chatters we definitely appreciate your support. We even appreciate our haters. Even when you give us a thumbs down, that actually does help the video. Again, come to the 22 Convention. And Maddie, listen, anytime you want to call back, we're happy to have you on the show. We're happy to have you on the show. That's going to do it for the 95th edition of the Redman Group. You guys take care.